26-inch or somewhere in there.
Okay.
You're all fine.
Hey, Dawn.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
You can hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have counselors on Zoom. So, okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call our city council meeting to order for this Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance, I guess, for those of us that are in the room. I'm fine.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a quick roll call. Councilor Myers. Here. Councilor Lindner.
Here.
Councilor Ray. Here. Councilor Cuthbertson.
Here.
Councilor Williams.
Here.
Great, thank you. Okay. So we are to the public comments period here. You have 3 minutes. Does anybody have a public comment they'd like to make? All you have to do is come up to the podium, tell us your name, and let us know what's on your mind. Going once. Going twice. Okay, 3 times we're sold. All right, we'll go ahead and move on then. Can I get one of the counselors to read 2.1 on the agenda, please?
I'll go for it.
Public
Oh,
comment.
no, I've done it before. You go for it.
I will
Oh,
attempt this.
actually, we did it already.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh,
We were supposed to read it before we did that.
Oops,
Never mind. We're good.
no
Cancel.
public comment for you.
I did so well.
We're good. 2.1's good. All right. For the Benton County Sheriff's Office's report, we have our deputy here. We get to see you so frequently now. So we'll have you, Mark, we'll have you share the mic with him. Evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Reports in the packet, guys.
So I've had an opportunity to review it. Obviously, I'm Briggs Savage with the Sheriff's Office. Thank you for having me today. Obviously, just want to tell you, as always, the sheriff knows about you guys and is mindful of this city. And yeah, the Sheriff's Office is trying to do good work down here. So if you've noticed in that report, you're going to see a slight increase in, I would say, arrests. We've been doing some DUI patrols. There's been speed patrols. Kind of a focus on that traffic enforcement that you guys have, has long been a problem with the major highway going through the town. And other than that, the only thing that I can think of that may have some particular interest to the citizens of the city is obviously we had what was a shooting that the car ended up at 99 in Lakeside.
Yeah.
You may or may not have read the public release on that, but basically, that didn't have anything to do with Monroe or the Monroe area. It was people that were traveling through, and sounds like a dating app encounter that led to a disagreement and a robbery and a shooting. So
That's terrifying.
Boy.
My friend
but-
lives on Lakeside.
yeah. Yeah, so our detectives were able to track down the people that were involved, and everyone's going to be held accountable for that one. So, and also just the only thing I think of is the other night when we had those trees go down on the Lane County side.
Yeah, the
The
power
power went
outage.
out. Several
Yeah.
of us came down here just to make sure that nobody was
Getting any bright ideas?
messing around. So
Right.
anyways, other than that, appreciate you guys and thank you for having me here. So
Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Any questions for Deputy Savage?
I do have a question.
Okay, go for it.
Was there some activity this morning downtown? I saw a sheriff car blow down Orchard and then,
I'm not sure. to be
Okay,
honest
it
with
seemed
you.
like they were on a mission.
You're catching me on my Monday
okay.
and, yeah, I'm not sure. I can ask.
Oh, okay. No,
Take
no
a
big.
look.
We'll find out in the next report probably.
Or it'll be on social media,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
as usually the case. Any other questions for Deputy Savage? I'm good.
No, something good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time. Have a good evening. All right, let's see here. And we'll give a brief city report. So with regard to engineer of record, so talking with the attorney, this is actually all updates from the attorney. So she recommends that we actually execute a new service contract for engineering services. We're not able to renew the old one. It had been expired for too long. So once we go ahead and execute that service contract, then we can go ahead and proceed with an RFP process. So that's her recommendation. She can help us with the RFP process if we need help on that. We may actually need help on, drawing up the contract too. So, but it's in progress.
Question about that.
Yeah.
Would we have needed to do an RFP if we had stuck with the original engineer, knowing that that contract had expired? I'm just thinking about the cost associated with an RFP and having to go through that.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that answer. So we'll go through the RFP process and we'll see who we end up with.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, typically, if you're careful on your contract and you put evergreen in it,
Mm.
then you can carry it over without having to go out for rebid.
Got it.
unfortunately,
Probably didn't.
not happen.
That was what I was wondering.
I would assume.
Yeah.
So, no, good questions. With regard to unpaid water bills, we have one in particular that's quite large, and we'll actually discuss a little bit later tonight. The attorney is reviewing and researching that particular situation, and she will get back to me and let me know how we're going to handle it. So we are looking at, we have a couple rather large ones, so they need to be addressed.
One account or multiple payments with the same?
No, this is two separate accounts that I'm thinking of, so. And then later on, we will talk about, and I have been talking with the attorney on this as well, about the building moratorium. So she would actually like to have me set up a meeting with herself, Chuck Schultz, and Michael Bidwell, her planner. We might rope Mark into it as well and discuss that. So more to come on that. DEQ is back. They are requesting a TMDL matrix, I guess it's what it is. And they have kindly extended the deadline for us to June 30th. So I know Chuck was super excited. So he's going to help us though. So we'll work on that and we'll get that in before the deadline. The franchise agreement with Charter Spectrum, I'll mention that a little later in the evening. With regard to 180 North 8th Street, that is a vacant property. The attorney is reviewing that. This is going to be a rather complex issue because ownership is with someone who's been deceased for quite some time.
This is the old white farmhouse that's
I think it's the one where somebody's been paying the taxes, think they own it.
on
Yeah.
the west side of it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just right up the
Yeah.
road here.
By
North
Little
8th.
Potopia.
No, just right up Main Street, North 8th, where Stephen Rose is building. And then you got the Wahlberg property that they're talking about, the spring coming from the Little Potopia property.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a house right there that's falling down. But yes,
Got
correct. Somebody paid the back taxes and thought that gave them ownership. And
it's a lovely thought.
Oh.
More to come on that. I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. We had actually, I think it started, Dawn, it started like Thursday or Friday, the city website. It was temporary. We were temporarily locked out of it.
That is correct, yeah.
So it came back up today. So we don't know exactly what happened. don't know what's going on there. We are trying to finally get everything transitioned over. We have a copy of the current website, but it's an older copy. I'd like to get a newer copy and have the web developer get that onto the new website with the new host, and then I can demo that for everybody so we can take a look at it.
Are we engaging that gentleman that's Dan?
No,
Okay.
no, he's our IT consultant.
Oh,
But this is someone that Stan recommended. But
okay.
yeah, I know what you mean. So more to come on the website. Made some progress, believe it or not, the night the power went out, I was talking with the web developer on text. I was able to get quite a bit done.
As long as your phone charged. you
Yeah,
don't
it was-
need it,
So well, I didn't have anything else better to do apparently, so. So there's that. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I can't think of it right now. And we got plenty in the current agenda to go through, so we will just go ahead and keep moving unless you guys have questions for me. And Counselor Lindner's got all kinds of updates from the Finance and Personnel Committee. We'll talk about that later too. So anyway, we'll move on and we'll do the consent agenda next. That's 4.0 in the agenda. The following items are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. If any item involves a potential conflict of interest, council members should so note before adoption of the consent agenda. A motion to accept the consent agenda is appropriate. So the minutes are here and the rest of the consent agenda is here as well. And Dawn's with us, so if we have any questions, you can certainly ask Dawn. And I want to thank Dawn for all of her efforts to document our meeting minutes.
Thank you, Dawn.
I know they're not what they were before, but I'm trying to be as accurate and put as much in there as I can.
Well,
You're
they
doing a
look,
great
they
job.
look good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Sorry, did I word that correctly?
No, you're fine. Do we have a second?
Second.
You have an easy job. All right, any comments, questions regarding anything in the consent agenda?
I can't get it to open on my side, so I'm gonna need to abstain.
Okay, understood.
Would it help in the future, just so if a counselor is online rather than in person, just maybe scanning and sending a copy to all the counselors? Would that be appropriate or wanted?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
definitely would.
okay,
So
okay.
normally what I end up doing, because, you know, we're putting the packet together sometimes on Monday of, I will send counselors the agenda like on Thursday or Friday before. But yeah, if we could have a scanned version, I think that'd be great to have. Nice to have the information before we sit down. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that till tonight, so.
Yeah, that would be really appreciated on my end. I travel for work and I had an emergency and I'm in Toronto, so I'm 3 hours ahead. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so I'm going to be bouncing after 2 hours today. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
9 o'clock already out there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try to get through it quickly. We'll try. Okay. If there aren't any other comments or questions, are we ready to vote?
Yeah, I don't see any anomalies here.
Okay. All right. Counselor Ray. Yes. Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
And Counselor Cuthbertson.
I'm gonna abstain.
Yep, I just want to make sure we have that on the record. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to new business. So in the packet, we have, oh, it's a big part of the packet. Resolution 2025-23, a resolution adopting a supplemental budget for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. I'm just gonna find it.
This is the biennial budget. It's actually,
It is.
it's for the 2024 to 2026 date range. I don't know if the resolution states that or not, but it is for that full period of time.
Let me double check. The resolution does, so the agenda,
Okay, good.
the agenda
Okay.
just needs to be corrected. The agenda should say fiscal year 2024 to
Okay.
2026. The resolution is correct.
And the actual budget itself, in case anybody wants to review it or ask questions, is at the back of the packet, just because there was so much to it. So it's that last section there. There should be a cover page to kind of help separate it.
Right here. Oh, yeah. I just gotta keep going. There it is. Got it. Everybody else find it okay?
Staple packages on the back.
Yep.
Start from the other end.
Yeah,
Smart.
it's easier,
Smart.
less digging. You're having way too much fun over there.
I know.
Got it. Okay. Read it this way. Good, got it.
Are all the unappropriated ending fund balances, that just means stuff that needs to be distributed between different funds and is they're therefore available, or what does that mean?
So we always have to have an unappropriated amount in there. I guess it's kind of like a hold on, and I'm not sure what the reasoning is there. I haven't read too much into it. But we always have to have an unappropriated amount, is my understanding.
Is that by a percentage?
I don't believe so, but I would have to look into that.
Thank you.
The standard is like 25 or 50,000. Let me look at the unappropriated on here real quick. Yeah, we pretty much always have a contingency, operating contingency, and then the unappropriated ending balance. I'm not sure if that, I'll need to check into it and ask Kathy as well. I don't know if that goes forward for both of those, or if it's, yeah, a certain percentage. I don't believe it is though, because it's typically 50 and, or between 25 and 100,000, depending on what fund it is, but never less than that. So it means something as large as our water fund doesn't have that much more reserved than the smaller funds, such as like storm and things of that nature. So I don't believe it's a percentage. It might be a standardized amount.
Is it, and maybe Kathy might be the right person to ask, but is it okay that we have a few different funds that have zero in it?
So for example, which ones? Are they reserves or SDCs possibly, or?
Well, they're probably ones that don't really get used that often, but the Park SDC Fund, FO or 507, I mean, a bunch of it, they're all SDC funds really.
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't believe those ones are required to have that.
Okay,
And they haven't been historically, so
Okay.
I didn't really question it, but yeah, my understanding is it's just for our main or core funds, we definitely have to have that amount in there. I think what those amounts are is that If there's a contingency, so if there's like an emergency and we absolutely have to cover something, that's kind of there for like an emergency fund, I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
The 508 fund, we have 117,000 in it, but the 508 unappropriated is 287,000. So you're right, it's not a percentage.
Yeah, I just stuck with what we've had what it was previously. Those didn't really need to change at all. I just wanted to make sure that like all the transfers in had to transfer out. We had the appropriate amount in the funds to cover all of our base expenses, things of that nature. So I just wanted to make sure we were in as good a shape as possible with what we have.
Any other questions on that? I know there's a lot here.
Yeah. And this is for a 2-year period, right? 5395844, that big dollar amount,
Yeah, with the supplemental for, that's correct.
about 5.4 million.
Yes, for the remainder of the biennial.
Cool.
So June 30th, 2026 is when this will be done.
You looking for a motion?
I am looking for a motion whenever you guys
I'll make a
are.
motion that we accept resolution 2025-23, a resolution adopting supplemental budget.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, any other comments, questions, concerns, anything else you would like to ask? Well, we have Dawn here.
Okay, I do have a question.
Go for it.
On general fund 100, and I know I'm gonna get super confused with all the different fund numbers. Total personnel services, it looks like we have 0 proposed, but I thought we were considering hiring temp. Isn't that where that would get allocated?
So sorry, what line are you looking at?
I'm looking at, let's see, it's line 1 on requirement summary, general fund 100. Shoot.
Second page.
Uh,
Yeah, right here. Personal service, or what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the back here. I don't know if maybe I'm just looking at the wrong spot.
What LB number does it have at the top corner?
Clear on the back.
LB 30.
Oh, okay, here we go. What line are you looking?
Oh, that's not, sorry, that's the amount not allocated. So that would be any remaining amount. That's not something we've typically used. So, where we
Okay.
have our actual personnel services budgeted out is on the first page of the requirements. And the
Okay.
total personnel services on line 15.
Great.
Yeah, I included the stipend for the mayor. Whether or not that's an appropriate spot for it, I do not know, but.
How did I see it now? Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Cool. I will, oh, wait, you seconded.
Yeah,
right?
we already got our first
Okay,
and our
great.
second. We were getting ready to vote.
Excellent.
I wanted to make sure all the questions got
Perfect. Thank you.
answered. Counselors Williams and Cuthbertson, I can't say that tonight. Cuthbertson, do you have any questions on the budget?
No, I just have a concern that I am not looking at the budget, so I don't feel comfortable voting.
Okay,
Are we able to vote if we've only got 3 people voting? Because 2 of them are abstaining.
well, I'm not sure how that works. When we've got 2 that might potentially abstain if I have to end up voting. Not sure how that works.
Well, we can go through and vote it and then find out if it's legit or not. And if it's not, we'll have to
Vote again?
vote again.
So I got a quick question before we vote. Dawn, do we have an electronic version of this at all?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't even think to provide
Okay.
electronic version. I didn't know that counselors wouldn't be there tonight, so I
Right.
mean, I guess if I would have had that knowledge ahead of time, I could have,
Yeah,
done that.
no, you're
But I'm
fine.
working from my laptop at home, so I have no access whatsoever.
Okay, no, that's fine. Nope, it's good
I-
information for next time. Go
I
ahead.
have a question. Are there any changes since the last budget meeting that we were at?
Not to my knowledge.
There are no changes, no. It's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
exactly the same, it's just that we have to go through council after we do the budget hearing, where we have the
Right.
public, make comments or ask questions.
Right.
So this is
Right.
just to make it official, and adopt it, but if not, we may have to have some sort of special, I think it absolutely has to be done by June 30th or before. So,
Right.
we'll just make sure we do it
Well,
before then if it's not
I-
tonight.
I'm just asking because I was at the last budget meeting, so I'm comfortable if there haven't been any changes since then to go ahead and vote,
Oh, okay,
Same.
okay,
if
great.
that
thank
makes
you.
sense.
Gotcha, okay, yeah.
It does.
So we have a quorum
Okay,
once we vote.
okay. So we're gonna go ahead and vote, and this is on resolution 2025-23. Okay, so Counselor Myers,
Yes.
Counselor Lindner,
Yes.
Counselor Ray,
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson,
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Abstain.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay. Next up is resolution 2025-24, a resolution authorizing the return of funds for water, stormwater, and sewer system infrastructure extension to the water, stormwater, and sewer SDC reserve funds. And that is in the packet as well.
And this was one that I had ran across when returning the other SDC funds. We did check with DRC Schultz on these. He verified they were incorrectly used and need to be returned to the SDC reserve funds.
And the total amounts here, we've got sewer system repairs and maintenance, $25,000, it's going back. Storm repairs and maintenance, $10,000 going back to the storm SDC fund. Water system repairs and maintenance, that's $11,000 going back to the water SDC fund. For our counselors that don't have that, I hope that helps.
And all the budget stuff.
Are you looking for the resolution?
I am.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, not that far. After the-
All this stuff right here. Past the excavating.
We're just looking for resolutions. Please hold. Go ahead.
None of that was spent, correct? We're just switching funds from where it got moved to back to where it came from.
That is correct, yes. And it won't need to be included in the budget either because this, A, it's a separate resolution, and B, it's not a budgeted item, if that makes sense.
So fortunately, it hasn't been spent and we're just moving it back into the appropriate funds.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
This is the same thing that we did for that other chunk of change, right?
Essentially the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah. Don came across another one and we ran it by Chuck and he said, he needs to go back.
I'll make a motion to,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to clarify, especially for people that aren't able to be there. So when we do the budget, we do it based on all of our monies from all three accounts at the beginning of that budget cycle. That amount didn't change, so this wouldn't affect anything as far as our budget goes. I just want to reassure council of that.
Yeah, we're just moving money. Okay. Go ahead. Counselor Linder, you were gonna,
I was gonna make a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-24.
2025-24.
Yeah, I probably missaid that, but
That's okay.
a resolution returning funds for water, storm, and sewer system infrastructure extension to the water, storm, and sewer SDC reserve funds.
Okay, great, thank you. Who'd like to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other comments, questions from the council on this? Fortunately, this is kind of a repeat. Okay, are we ready to vote? Okay. Counselor Cuthbertson,
Yes.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Counselor Myers,
Yes.
Counselor Lindner,
Yes.
and Counselor Ray? Great, thank you. All right, moving on, guys. Resolution 2025-25. Resolution authorizing the sale of surplus city equipment. That resolution is also in your packet and it includes a couple of items that go along with it. One is the surplus property list, the city surplus property list. And then one is GovDeals. That'll be the site that the online government surplus at auction site we'd be using. And just their general rules are included there if you are interested.
Are we gonna put any reserves on them?
I don't know.
I can do my best to look up value and see what they're at.
You know, I was just thinking to kind of protect us from somebody lowballing.
Yeah, I mean, there's the trucks. I mean, you should be able to get.
Yeah.
Then
something
you gotta
like
look at the website, make sure that if you
Mhm.
have a reserve and it doesn't sell, that you don't have to pay a percentage on the
Mhm.
reserve also.
So,
Yeah.
Counselor Ray, I did check into that.
Yep.
So there's no fees for us at all. And no listing fees. So the fees are actually charged to the bidders at 12.5% of the ending auction amount. And it is an auction, so we can do the open bid amount at what we think it is worth at the minimum.
Okay, so they don't put a charge on if you have a reserve and don't sell.
That's not my understanding, no.
I do a lot.
I
of
can
it,
clarify
so.
that though, and if we want, we can, or we can hold off on it as well, but if you want to approve it with that contingency there, I guess, just to reassure us that there is no fee if it doesn't sell within X amount of days, we could do that.
There is a section in the general rules here about reserve auctions. Just a small section.
Yeah, there is a time restricted on a payment due date, but
Well, you don't want to wait forever for the payment.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's a 40% charge on that one.
ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hurts.
definitely want to pay quick.
There's a couple things that we should, if we can, definitely look at putting reserves on, like the Paladin Sweepster. That thing's pretty much brand new. It was just a waste of money when it was purchased. A couple other things, but
There's 16 items for the counselors on Zoom. There are 16 items on the property surplus property list right now.
So we're gonna sell that big stove in there?
no, there's another one that used to be in here.
Oh,
That's
it's
just
the old
been
one?
sitting in the
Okay.
reader building.
Well, there's the old refrigerator too.
Yeah, I know that doesn't work. I don't know if the stove works or not.
I don't know. I just remember putting the big one in.
If any of them don't sell, can we donate them and get a tax credit of some kind or?
I'm not sure about that.
No, then you get intergovernment agency will pick it up for $1. I don't think we can donate and get taxes back.
Yeah. $1,
If we're
okay.
a private industry, we could, but
And so among the items on the list here, just for the counselors on Zoom, we've got miscellaneous office supplies, two receipt printers, receipt rolls, message taking books, F-350 flatbed truck, a 1999 F-250 truck, miscellaneous pumps and motors. We got bricks, utility pole mount, holiday decorations, the stove we just talked about, refrigerator we just talked about, utility trailer. I don't know, these tank carts. I don't know what those are.
oxyacetylene,
They just hold tanks of gas for
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
welders or
Okay.
cutters.
it's like a little
Okay.
dolly that has hoops to hold the.
Okay. INOP samplers.
Inoperable.
Okay.
Those are old samplers out at the wastewater facility that
Okay.
just sitting on the side of the building. They've been there for 4 years,
Okay.
probably even longer.
So it's time for them to go bye-bye. The street sweeper that Mark mentioned already, miscellaneous landscape equipment, retro lead or lead detector, motorized sprayer, and then the Ford Tiger side mower.
Should be leak detector. I think
Leak
it's a typo.
detector. Oh,
What's are the holiday decorations the old ones or not the new ones, right?
No,
no,
Okay.
no. those are
no.
old
Monroe
ones.
Telephone has the
The new
new
ones.
ones, the current ones that get used. These are
They're the
It's
trees
been
and
sitting
the
in the building.
angels. Yeah, they're the trees and angels they used to hang up on the post.
Mhm.
Not the actual ones we hang up at, like, put up at City Hall, the smaller ones, just those large ones.
And the bricks are from our brickyard, right?
I think so. I cannot confirm that officially. And I know a couple of years ago when we first started talking about this, the VFW was interested in acquiring those
I was gonna mention that they want to build a courtyard thing.
next to the museum, and
Yeah.
they're going to carve local veterans' names into them. And
We have to have a conversation about zoning on that though.
okay,
So that's it. But no, that's fine. So that's everything that's on the list, just so the Counselor Cuthbertson and Counselor Williams know what we're talking about.
So are these earmarked so that the funds go directly into the water? To help our water situation? Is that still the plan? Because we had talked about that with the properties and whatnot, but I don't know if we were including all our surplus to go towards helping us with water.
Well, I think we had a conversation about the funds for the equipment sales going back into the Public Works Fund to, repair existing and purchase new as necessary. I think that was the plan originally.
so in the past, the previous city administrator and I talked about, for example, the F-350 flatbed. It is operable. I do use it. It's kind of a pain. Mostly use it for debris and stuff throughout town. Use it, dump it in those debris in the burn pile. An example of those funds being used for something would be putting those towards like a dump trailer. Especially being a one-man show at the time when we were talking about it, we were talking about being able to actually load the tractor into it, going to the work site, cleaning up, taking the debris, dumping them, and then putting the tractor back in it would be a lot easier than taking the tractor, parking it, walking, or having City Hall staff come and pick me up to get the other piece of equipment, the truck or whatever, to clean up everything needed to be cleaned up there.
That makes sense.
I feel it's appropriate that whatever fund, those items were originally purchased for, the one little box of miscellaneous, general administration. I think the resolution's worded this way as well. But whatever funds they're coming from or whatever funds they're purchased for, it goes back to that fund to kind of, provide those monies to purchase new equipment like they were saying, or if we need different equipment in the office to go towards that.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful about spending money. I know a gentleman that had to go to jail because they did some of this and they spent the money on food for something that's going on. It's a public entity. He went to jail.
Yeah, it would be, if it goes back to Public Works, it'll be spent on equipment or on, whatever that leads to, or if it's in the GA fund, it would be operating supplies, like paper products, things of that nature.
Does that answer your question, Counselor Cuthbertson?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's going to the appropriate places and we had a plan for it and we knew for sure, so we didn't have a problem like Counselor Myers just brought up.
Right.
Yep. Now,
Agreed.
if we were gonna sell our skids, we could probably put that.
Right towards the water plant.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they're gonna be surplus in a while, aren't they?
No comment?
Wishful
Alright.
thinking.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. So I think I still need to have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 2025-25. Resolution authorizing the sale of city surplus property using GovDeals online government surplus auction services.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and vote. Counselor Ray. Yes. Counselor Lindner.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Cuthbertson. I couldn't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, moving on. Okay, next on the agenda, water plant options. This is kind of a follow-up to the meeting we had last week with Mr. Chuck Schultz. Didn't know how many of you had an opportunity to look at I emailed the information that he had suggested that we review. Didn't know if we wanted to have a conversation about that now, or if we need more time to read, but it sounds like we do need to make a decision sooner rather than later.
I wasn't able to open the third document, but I was able to get the first two.
Okay, was that the addendum?
I got the plan, the addendum to the plan, and then there was something else like,
It was probably the master plan.
whatever it was. I got to the master plan where it got to read
Oh, you didn't get to
chapter
it?
5. Yep.
Okay, good.
And I read the addendum,
Okay.
and I do remember,
The feasibility study then.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember there was some discussion about doing the manhole covers. And I don't know how many we got done.
Well, Mark can answer that for us.
And, you know, the other,
A certain amount, didn't we?
yeah, and the other issue we had is, I know we did smoke tests, but if we don't have documentation of it,
We've relined and resealed manholes. We haven't done any this year yet. I haven't approved the bid to get 5 done. I'm just waiting on them to call me back to schedule. So we'll have 5 more done this year. I've been keeping track of the ones we have done. I have a file. I can get you a number on how many we've done, all that good stuff. We have discussed in the past getting some inserts that you put inside the manhole, put the lid back on, and it kind of lets the water pool up and kind of disperse back out versus just falling down into the manhole.
Yeah.
We have not done any of those yet.
okay. And what about pipelining? Like, you know, I know this line right out here had the smoke test showed smoke coming up on it.
Oh.
And the plan was to shoot a sleeve in there and pressure it and seal it, but
Yeah, I don't know if that
Been done to my knowledge.
Okay.
None of that's been done since I've been here.
yeah, because that was talked about on my first tenure.
A while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
To my knowledge, I have not seen anything that was actually done.
So 5 this year and 5 next year, correct?
Correct, yes. So with the biannual budget, there was a certain amount in there
Right,
that
right.
accumulated to 5 this year.
How many manholes do we have?
That's a great question.
It was at, I want to say 65, 67, somewhere in there. And then Red Hills was added. So I think we're up to in the 70s total,
Okay.
maybe 80s.
Yeah, because I know there's one in the alleyway not too far from my house.
Yes.
So slowly but surely.
Yes, surely.
Does everybody need a little more time to review all those documents that I sent? They're not included with the packet. I didn't.
Oh, we've been looking for them.
No.
It's 187 pages.
I would,
just
I
one of
didn't
them.
want to have Don.
I know
fill
which
that
one you're
out,
talking
so,
about now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between the wastewater master plan, the
Got it.
feasibility study and the addendum to the master plan.
Yeah.
If you want to see them, let me know. I have copies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show you the
We have
wastewater.
all
and
kinds
water
of fun
master
copies at
plans.
City Hall.
For some reason, the feasibility, it just,
Oh, that's
it said the
interesting.
link wasn't available or
I
something.
mean, all those are on the city website currently.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I think I
On
started
my work
perusing them,
computer
got
site,
sidetracked.
probably security issue.
maybe. That's weird though.
Yeah. They don't like anybody outside.
So I'm gathering we need a little more time. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gathering. Okay.
Although I am concerned, because there's a lot of this stuff and I don't have all the particulars, but I do remember as a council, we discussed this before and we were told it was being done.
Mhm.
And it's kind of obvious nothing was done.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Can I say on a positive note,
Yes.
with
we
that
like
power
positive.
outage we had the other night,
Yes.
that generator held up fantastically.
On the lift station.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lift station generator, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was
So that one
texting
did-
with Mark
yeah.
that night.
Things run.
that
Nice.
was the
It's amazing, you know?
2007 generator, right? that they put in?
I think somewhere in that area.
Yeah. So,
Did you get a check a box, emergency test check?
No, I still have to do annuals.
Yeah.
they identified back in 1997 that pipe needed to be 8-inch instead of 6-inch.
Hmm.
And that wasn't ever discussed in front of the council that I know of.
No. Yeah, so the water plant options, Chuck discussed upgrading the plant and replacing it with a new one.
Correct.
And the city has no funding for any of this. We would have to do something to get financing for
Yeah.
it. So,
And just the lift station itself was,
yeah, I don't know what's a new lift station go for these days?
it was $2.2 million back in 2007.
It's not cheap. No, it's not. And our current lift station has two pumps?
Has two pumps, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, and that was including all the new piping though too.
That makes more sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'd have to, I mean, you can't put one in without the other.
Yeah.
Right,
And
no, yeah.
inflation has,
Yeah, really.
those numbers are insane.
Because it was go ahead, go for it.
What happened to our 3 million, whatever, where are we going with that? Our grant.
Are you talking about the funding that we got from the state?
No, that
Or
was
we're
only,
supposed to-
that was like 1.3 million.
Oh, I thought, but the project was originally quoted at 3 million, right?
I don't remember what it was.
A few years
originally.
ago.
I think it was quoted a little bit more than that, actually, but.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. It
I
wasn't-
thought we had something that was due by June, and so we were trying to still see if we could secure that funding or keep that funding.
Yeah, it's something that I know Chuck is aware of, but I don't know what the status of it is. I'll write it down and circle back.
Yeah,
with
because
you on
that's,
that.
that's kind of hot on fire, and it goes towards us trying to work on it to make sure that we try to keep those secured and not just let them run away.
Right. I can't even remember what Chuck said about that, but I will follow up with him on it.
Thank you.
Any rate, but with the lift station, it's not just the lift station. Counselor Myers kind of touched on that. There is the line under the river that goes to the lagoons. And there's also the lines that go on the city side that go to the lift station that also need to be replaced.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot to think about.
Too bad we just can't put them above and just incorporate that to
Well,
the
we
pedestrian
had.
bridge,
I
you know, make
know,
it a
I
combo.
know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, imagine
Oh.
that.
I want to do that, but we lost that unfortunately. So. All right.
Did the one down in Springfield finally go somewhere else?
I don't know if I think it's still there, so
Still there?
I don't think it's gone anywhere.
Although I think it was more expensive to move that one from there to here than,
Yes, that was gonna require, because you couldn't truck it. It's too big.
you'd have to cut it in part, and then you got the environmental part with the McKenzie River.
There was talk of a helicopter.
Yep.
Yes.
Would
That'd
be
be
very
kinda cool.
Would be very cool, but very expensive. No. So. All right. We'll go ahead and move on, but this topic will be returning. Okay. Wastewater issues and possible building moratorium. I will bring it up. But this is Chuck Schultz was the one that originally brought this up last week.
Kind of on the same page as the water side.
Yeah, so we've already kind of talked about that. But the concerns are real, as Mr. Schultz mentioned. And they're real enough that he is concerned we need to stop building. So it's a situation where I've involved the city attorney. And we're going to be having a conversation about that. And if necessary, we will talk to DLCD and see what we can do. I don't have a whole lot of details because we haven't really had the full-blown conversation yet. And we haven't talked to DLCD yet. So just so you're aware,
When
this
does that conversation happen? Is it
So
all of
I
us,
was
or-
asked today by the
Mhm.
city attorney if I could arrange a meeting between Chuck, the
Mhm.
city attorney, and our planner, Michael Bidwell. And I think I'd go ahead and rope Mark into that too.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
from there, we can figure out how we're going to approach DLCD. Because
Okay.
they need to be notified within a certain amount of time. It's got to be done a certain way. So,
So to be scheduled.
yeah, so it's
Okay.
definitely to be scheduled. So more to come on that for sure. That's kind of risen to the top of the heap there with the attorney.
I just have a quick
Yeah, go ahead.
clarification needed on that. So that doesn't affect there's certain projects that are like, we have equipment on site, and so those have to continue to move forward. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. And so how many houses is that project that's moving forward?
Right now, the only ones that are actually in the works, there's only one that has broken ground, has utilities, and is ready to start laying foundation and that good stuff. One house for sure, but it is 2 lots. I'm not sure if he's planning on building both, but everything is being done as if both are going to go at some point soon.
Okay, so this isn't like a subdivision of 20 homes. This is just,
No, and I think the next one that would be in line, we have a gentleman that purchased a home here on Main, actually right next door, that burnt not too long
Oh.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't think he would need too much to actually place a new home there.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
might be able to
He's
speak
talking to the
through.
planner, if I recall correctly.
He is, yes. I will ask Chuck about that to see if, because he's just going to be replacing something that was already
An
existing.
existing dwelling.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not
Should-
like the new stuff where
should be
SDC fees and all that
easy
stuff.
one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's already counted into the numbers of,
Yeah.
yeah, so. Okay.
Yeah. What about Mr. Oaks? What about his?
Talking with the planner this afternoon, there's a lot of issues and inconsistencies with his
Okay.
package.
Hmm.
So I'm not exactly sure where he's at.
Okay. All right. So at least one, possibly 2. Okay.
thank you, Mark.
All right. Okay. Any other questions on that? No? Okay. There'll be more to come on that as well. All right, we've got next on the agenda, we have a delinquent utility checklist. And Dawn, I'll have you talk to it. We've got it right here in the packet.
Yeah, I know that the former city administrator just kind of created that in office. I don't believe that council's seen the process that we go through at City Hall. So I just want you guys to review it, see if you think that that is an appropriate way to move forward with the billing. We do our 10-day notice, and I have to actually send that out the same day I, do our billing print offs. So I created that today. And it's 10 days after the due date of the bill that they then have to try and pay that amount. So that's kind of our first step. And then after that is sent, I give them the date they need to pay that balance by. If they do not, and they don't have a pending payment, I then have to move on with a 5-day door hanger. And then from there, if they don't pay within those 5 days or communicate with me on when they do plan on paying, because we do work with people within a certain amount of time. But if there's no communication, no payment, we then do a 24-hour notice, and then we do shut off with permission. What used to be from the former CA, so I'm guessing it would be from Mayor Sheets at this point. Before we do turn off, and we don't turn off on Fridays ever. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, do we also not do that on Thursdays?
Cutoffs?
Yes.
So since I've been here, I've never actually officially had to shut anybody off. And if I did, it's been a 5-10 minute period before they were either calling or knocking on the office door. But from my knowledge, it's just Fridays.
Okay, that makes sense. I think this 24-hour notices on Thursdays, because that would mean, of course, we're not going to start somebody off on Friday and then I'll go home. That would just be a really not so nice move. So,
Right.
I would think any kind of holiday like yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely wouldn't before we were
Yeah, like
out of
Thanksgiving.
office. Yeah,
as an
no.
example. Yeah.
But I just wanted to get your guys' input on that, see if you feel that's appropriate, if you think that might need to change or shift. And if so, maybe any suggestions that you have.
That's a good checklist.
Plenty of opportunity
Mhm.
for them to resolve the issue.
Exactly. And I will try and reach out. I mean, especially before I send out the 24-hour notice, I do attempt to call people, especially if I have, if I'm in the middle of a billing cycle that, I can't guarantee I'm going to call, but I do try to call.
It usually starts out, she sends out her notices, and then it turns the actual door hangers become less, and then what was it last month? There was actually quite a bit last month compared to past. I can't remember, but
Yeah, and we have quite a few this month for our first round as well. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. But yeah, I mean, we're like I said, we're averaging, I think it's around or like the low 40s for our late notice, like the first step at least. And then
Yeah,
of
they-
course, we from there, maybe a dozen 5-day notices. And then by the time we get to typically we don't get to the 24-hour notice before people are coming in and paying or calling me and saying, hey, can I pay this day? And as long as it's reasonable, I work with them.
and it's usually 1 or 2 24-hour notices, if any, and
Yeah.
they're
It's
pretty
taken care of.
consistent on who they are.
It seems like we got that down to like 16 or 17 accounts last year, right? Didn't we get it down a lot?
They got whittled down and they seem to have popped up again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder what's going on.
So Dawn, are these checklists here? Because there's 4 of them, it looks like, I think.
There's 4 pages, so they're
Right, front
each
and back.
one step in the process. The first
Right.
one's a 10-day notice, the second one's, and we keep these in their files as well, so we kind of know
Okay,
who the common offenders are, I guess.
right. No, I understand. So you're using these currently, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, and that's
Okay.
another reason I want, especially before we look at potentially changing the bill date. I mean, I
Right.
just want to make sure we have our little ducks in a row before we go through that process. And we're not going to charge late fees the first few months
Yeah.
per, Schultz's suggestion. But this is just, to get extra eyes on it, other than mine and the former CAs, to see if you feel it's reasonable.
Well, and going through this checklist saves you from any accusations of,
Inconsistency.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we are consistent.
consistent
Everybody
process.
gets treated exactly the same. I mean, it doesn't matter who, I mean, my kids go to school with some of these parents and it's not comfortable, but they understand.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, if they don't pay on time, they get a letter and we go from there. Yeah.
I think the checklists look good. They're comprehensive, and as someone else said, it gives each utility user opportunities to pay it off before they get dinged
Perfect. Okay.
or
thank you.
yeah.
Several days in there, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
lots of notice.
And gives us plenty of documentation too, in case anything goes legal.
Yeah, the documentation is a big part.
No, that's good.
Yeah. I think they look good.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, did you need anything else? Just feedback?
Nope, just feedback is all I wanted on those, just to make sure nothing needs to be corrected or
Okay.
changed or adjusted before we move forward with a potential different utility billing date. I just want to get,
Okay.
like I said, everything kind of ready to go if we can move forward with that.
Yeah, you can just put, acting city administrator, like AKA mayor.
Right? Yeah, and
Right.
that's what I'm gonna have to do. It's not, obviously not going to be the city administrator right now. I'll go through mayor sheets.
Or, you could probably designate any of us if you need to.
It'll probably be Counselor Cuthbertson.
Yeah. She's not here, right?
She's here.
Oh, I know, but not here.
She's always
She can't
here.
hit you.
No, later she will. That's fine. Okay, great. Thank you, Don, for letting us take a look
Yeah.
at these.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up on the agenda is agreement for accepting payments on past due utility bills. We have a theme going tonight. So that's the next piece of paper here. There's a front and a back on it.
And we had actually discontinued those after we received payments up to date. There's only really one account this would probably apply to right now. And I don't know if we are going to push for full payment or if this is something that we want to move forward with, because it is very labor intensive to do these. Our system can't track both a fee payment plus like a
Mhm.
current payment they have owing. There's no easy way to separate those in the system. And so the issue we ran across before was people would pay just the payment plan amount or just the current bill amount, or maybe like somewhere in between those two amounts, but not the full payment they needed. So they have to pay the payment plan amount every month on time, plus their current utility bill has to be up to date. And so if not both of those things are in place, they will still get their water turned off potentially. And then that causes, it seems to cause a lot of arguing, I guess, I don't, lack of a better term, between the utility customers and us because they have confusion there. I think that what
Yeah.
Mayor Sheets produced is pretty self-explanatory, but there's always that possibility. And like I said, it tends to be labor intensive to keep track of all that.
Yeah, because you're manually tracking two concurrent payment plans, basically, the
Mhm.
current
Yes,
one
and
and the
there's-
due one, the overdue
Yeah,
one.
there's nothing in the system to help me do that. I mean, I just have to basically put on a checklist each month to make sure that there's,
Yeah.
there's nothing else that I'm missing.
Do you use an Excel spreadsheet to document that, to track it?
That is something I've done in the past. But even then, so I guess I could do it with just the payment plan portion and then make sure they're current on their bill. I haven't had to deal with these probably for close to a year now. There was only maybe a handful of people before that were on these payment plans.
Now we potentially have one.
Yeah, I'm trying to brainstorm how to make it a little bit easier for you, but
Yeah, I
It's
think
hard
it-
when the system doesn't
lot of
capture it
manual
too.
Yeah.
involvement in
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
The problem is if I were to create, because I tried different methods and I did talk to Springbrook, our software system, their IT help, and there's no easy way to track one person with these two different payments in there. I could do a invoice type system like we do with our STC fees, but then it's
Mhm.
not on their regular utility account. And if they ask for all their utility payment records, you see what I'm saying? It'd be
Yeah.
very difficult for somebody to go back and track. They wouldn't know where to look necessarily.
Yeah,
I
it
have a-
sounds like tracking in an Excel
Yeah.
spreadsheet is probably just the easiest. way
Yeah.
to go.
Yep.
do you ever have people not wanting to sign this?
This is new.
All this-
That particular version is new. We had something similar before. People didn't necessarily have any objection to signing it because they either sign that or pay in full. That was their options.
Yeah.
Or not have water?
Yeah, or
Doesn't
not have water at all.
look like you're charging them interest, so
Yes.
I mean, it's a win-win,
Mm.
kind of, if they have to go on a payment plan.
And I think with the payment plan, what they're foregoing that late fee each month of $10.
Mhm,
Once they
correct.
sign that payment plan agreement, but only on that portion.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And that's another
true.
reason they have to stay current because that'd just be one more thing to track and I'd have to reverse late fees and yeah.
You know,
Do it all.
So antiquated.
Mhm.
well, and I know it's hard for the counselors that are online. They can't see this.
Would it be useful to have a section toward the end that says, if the client or customer wishes not to sign this, they understand that these are the consequences? Because like in reading this, I had the same question as you, Counselor Myers. I was like, well, what if they don't want to sign it? Like, maybe it isn't, like, they need to know, here's what happens if you don't agree to a payment plan, like, you're gonna lose your water, or you're gonna have a lien on your, or whatever, you know?
And the current person that's going to apply to actually already has their water turned off on the commercial side.
Yeah.
Mark, you know who I'm speaking of, Mark.
Yep.
And they also, I mean, so they really don't have any consequence if they don't pay the amount. So we're hoping to get them on a payment plan and at least get that started on being paid. They do have a utility lien on there, but we've had that not go through in the past. They elect not to pay the lien with the closing. I didn't even know that was an option, but apparently it is.
So then that's problematic because there's really no incentive for them to pay something off if there's no cost.
They're wanting to do a business, is my understanding, in that portion of the building. So I think that they do have a reason to want to pay this.
Hmm.
Yes, but if it's a vacant building, yeah, there's absolutely no incentive whatsoever.
Is there a charge, like, is there a cost to the city by having water going up to the building but not actually into it? Like, okay, so it's not putting us out for it to just be turned off.
Yeah, correct. I just
Okay.
turned off
At the meter.
the meter stop and she
Okay.
just,
That,
this
yeah.
person just doesn't get water to the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I think it's a good form, then. I think yeah.
Well, I didn't know if we needed to vote on it or not, but I've got two counselors that can't see it, so.
Yeah.
Previously, and this is up to you, previously, I think input's important, but previously the city administrator was the one that would create these forms and it wasn't necessarily something that went to council in the past, whether or not that's correct, I don't know. But it was more of an administrative type decision.
Right.
Both the utility late checklist as well as like agreements for accepting payments and
Mhm.
things of that nature.
I just feel like you guys should know what's going on,
Yeah.
so. So we don't have to vote on it. I don't know how comfortable everybody is with it, so.
It's a step forward. I mean, we have to have something like this. It gives Dawn a tool to say,
Right. Covers her backside, yes.
Well, like I said, it's a tool, but you're also giving them the option of being able to make payments interest-free instead
Absolutely.
of paying full upfront
Right,
and being shut off. so.
right. It can be very difficult if you have a very large
Mhm.
past due bill to pay it all in full, so this definitely
Yeah.
is a very viable option to make payments. So for Counselor Cuthbertson and Counselor Williams, would you like to see this before City Hall starts using it?
I think I'm comfortable to go ahead and just move forward. I don't think I necessarily need to see it.
Okay.
Same, I don't think I do either. This is normal, like, practice that should happen in,
Mhm.
in business, so I'm completely comfortable.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay,
Great.
all right. If there are no objections, then Dawn, you can go ahead and use this.
Thank you.
You bet. So again, continuing our theme this evening. 5.8 is past due utility bills and liens, so that's the next thing in the packet.
I believe there's only 2 in there to review.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And I just need to know how to move forward with those. I think with the second one, Waltz, we've already kind of determined or given her a decision. Is it by June 6th that she needs to respond, Mayor Sheets?
Yes, and I'm hoping by that point, she will agree to sign
Mm-hmm.
this document we just discussed
Mm-hmm.
and make payments. That's my hope.
The other one for
Yes.
Keely Croson.
Mhm.
So Mr. Wall used to own the building. And Keely Croson was a tenant, is my understanding, before Misty Croson was. I believe she's some sort of relative to Miss Croson. And the utility bill went unpaid. Mr. Wall was very well aware of this. He was getting the standard, late letters. I tried to reach out to Keely both via phone. I believe via email, via regular mail, got her forwarding address. Like I reached out every way possible. I put a lien on the account in our conduits or net assets system online. And the I don't believe it was a person that actually was at the title company, but part of I think the escrow office had searched to make sure there was no liens. They did see the lien on there and they did advise the person that was closing with them of this, but they chose to forego paying liens out of the closing fees. And so like I said, I didn't know there was an option, but apparently you can work around it in some cases.
Yeah.
And so it still is not paid, and now it's accruing interest and late fees each month. The original final bill amount is on there. I believe it's 90 some odd dollars towards the top of the page. It'll say final bill. I think it was like a final bill of like $30 or $50. And that amount was the original amount, and it's up to the amount it is now because it's gone unpaid all this time. And we can choose to either work with that person and just have it be the final bill amount that was originally billed, or if we want to charge them late fees and interest or somewhere in between and negotiate with them. Or if you choose not to make Miss Croson liable at all, that's a choice you have as well. I just need to know how to move forward on this one so I can either close out the account, adjust it, whatever needs to be done.
Right. So, and Dawn, you have tried, as you already mentioned, to, reach out to Miss Croson.
Keely Croson, yes.
Keely Croson, yeah.
So Misty Croson, And I believe it's in there. I don't want to disclose too much information on a meeting because I'm not sure what all I need to be saying on here. But there is correspondence via the former CA and myself, and I believe I did include that in there as to what his
Mhm,
next
yeah.
steps were going to be. That did not happen.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge at least, and no letter was ever produced. Nothing, yeah, nothing happened there.
Okay. So we could continue to try and do notices. The lien, we were hoping would take care of it and it didn't.
I didn't
So
even know you could opt to
I-
not pay a lien.
I didn't either. I thought that was you have to pay or you don't get the building or the, whatever you're buying, property.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
It is odd.
And it may have been something that Ms. Croson signed stating that she was aware of that situation and didn't force the seller to pay that. I have no clue.
Maybe she absorbed it, so if she ever sells the building, she pays it at close. Who knows?
That could be, but that's not typically the way it works. Like it should have been
Yeah.
paid
Usually up
then
front.
because now it's accruing all these fees.
Right.
Yeah,
So another option that we had discussed was collections. We could have a collection agency. Because it's at this point, this is consuming a lot of Dawn's time.
yeah,
And right now, we have a very, very limited staff.
yeah.
So that was an idea that was thrown out. I don't know how we feel about it, but that's one option. We can definitely try and negotiate. If we could get, most of it back, that'd be great. I mean, we have some flexibility. We don't have to collect all of the late fees back.
Yeah.
Um,
I would support going to collections if it's using up a lot of Dawn's time, because Dawn's time is essentially taxpayer dollars. This is like Monroe citizens.
Right.
Well, at this point, I'll be honest. I mean, I send a bill each month to Keely Croson at the address I was given last.
Yep.
But I'm not wasting my time on it anymore. It's just I've gotten nowhere with it. I've done collections before myself, and this is just one of those cases where I'm not getting any response.
Okay.
The Western Agency, I believe, is who we use for
Yeah.
collections. I haven't actually put anything into collections to them since I've been there, but they don't, my understanding is they don't charge us. They end up adding on to what the amount is. So they'll end up paying more essentially if we do send it to collections.
I mean, this has been accruing for what, a
Almost 2
year?
years.
Almost 2 years in August. I think there's been plenty of notice now. Just my personal thought on it.
And I saw him in there this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking, as you're discussing this and the liens and no teeth with the liens with the,
Mhm.
escrow and whatnot. I mean, in the future, making sure we go the easier route for you, Dawn, so there's not a lot of paperwork.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
I
the
mean-
problem is the former CA would assure me that things were being worked on or done. And they
Yeah.
weren't.
Understood.
Here we are. So,
Yeah, and
I mean, being on the council here, a short period, it baffles me still seeing some of these things that have been lingering for years. It's just,
it definitely
But-
baffles me too.
yeah.
yeah.
Counselors Cuthbertson and Williams, what do you think about all this?
It's hard to make an assessment not having the information in front of us and not knowing the dollar amounts, but it is not great that Dawn has had to fight this fight for almost 2 years in August. So I would support having a collections company be involved at this point.
Okay.
I concur with that.
Okay.
And I think in the future, we might look into not waiting 2 years.
Mhm.
Definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, so.
Totally agree. And that's why I would maybe err on the side of not, and this is up to you as well. I don't know that it would be completely fair, although it was skipped at closing, obviously, that we not charged all the late fees and interest perhaps. I don't know if we should just
Wait.
give them the final bill amount or a portion of it, like as of the close date. Because at that point, when it closed and I realized we didn't get paid, the next step that's in the packet there from the CA was supposed to have happened, and it did not. So that, in some ways, because that portion didn't happen, I don't know if they should be liable for all of those late fees and interest.
Yeah, like, is it really fully their responsibility or is,
Yeah, and should we
The
take some
mineral
of the
partially
responsibility
depends.
ourselves? Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to catch these things as I'm going through, and I'm taking note of them and kind of slowly adding them in for council review at this point,
right.
because I can't just make a, I
Yeah.
can't just make a decision. I could, but it wouldn't be right.
I think another concern I have, I guess, is I think about the property that was up Commercial Street that sold and we had originally had a lien
Mhm,
on
right.
it. And I just want to make sure that whatever we do, we're being consistent about how we're applying liens. I mean, I know that was a different situation. That was a,
Ways, but yeah.
that was
Is
a
this the,
zoning.
is this the Terrell property?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know
Okay,
this
and I
is
think-
about utilities, which is a different situation, but
Yeah.
And so one of the hurdles we have with this one, so typically we would turn off the water, right?
Yeah.
If something's not paid. Well, the owner was aware that it was not paid. And the renter was no longer there. It was a new renter. It wouldn't have been fair to turn off that. What I was told is it wouldn't be fair to turn off the renter's water because the previous renter didn't pay. You see what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, my hands were tied there and I couldn't go through my normal processes and I was told to wait and wait and wait. And I was like, well, for how
yeah.
long?
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta, I guess we need to, I don't know, in the future, look to, in this, like, for example, in this situation where, yeah, the previous renter didn't pay and you can't punish the new renter, but therein, maybe the owner, if you put the
Mhm.
responsibility kind of back on the owner, then they can go after the renter,
Yeah,
previous renter type situation.
exactly.
So I was going after,
helps.
I had actually gotten a hold of the previous owner and let them know they were now liable. I gave them a copy of the agreement they signed and said, that a lien would be placed on the property, which it was, but they worked around it. So the lien that we had on there for the utilities, which was in our system that we use now, and all the real estate agents check there before they close, it was there when they closed on the property and they chose to not pay it still. So I didn't even know, I just didn't know they could do that.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
When do we know typically, is it 90 days, 120 days before you send someone to collections? I don't.
I've seen it anywhere from 90 days to 120.
I've seen it less.
Yeah, I've seen it less, but I mean, since we're a city, I think we can go to 90 days maybe, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go past 90, honestly.
I mean, the example I've seen, this is a quick example from individuals at work, got hurt at work. It was a workman's comp thing, but still they got sent to collections by the hospital. And so they're getting a bill and they're like, why am I getting a
Oh,
bill?
yep, that's 2 weeks, right?
I mean, it's like, boom.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's
whoa.
immediately, yeah.
Yeah.
And I see we have another one that's kind of like on the same block.
Well, we already talked about the Waltz.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
And I was like, how
Yeah.
come that one's not?
I know. That
Their
one-
water's turned off at that location. That's why. So we actually did go through all the processes on that one and their account, the water is turned off there, but it is still accruing the base fee each month because that's how our ordinance currently reads, whether or not the owner is living there or if it's vacant, it doesn't matter. If there is, unless they've gotten permissions through the city to disconnect the water or have it permanently turned off or whatever it is, they have to pay that base amount.
Is that the
That-
same?
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
No, go for it.
That person's also asking what their options are to get rid of the commercial account and just have it become a residential account, but
Or
it's two
combine
separate
them.
meters.
Yeah.
They want to combine it into one, but it's
It's
set up
physically,
for
yeah.
business bottom,
Yeah.
residential top, and it's two separate meters for two separate systems, so it'll be a
Right.
lot of.
It's physically set up that way.
Shut off the one.
It,
Couldn't she shut off the business one and just keep the?
it is shut off. It's been shut off for quite a while and it's been,
That's a lot of money there.
it's been quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, yeah. Well, this particular one, the city attorney is also advising us on it because it is a large amount,
4,000?
almost 5.
Almost 5.
Yeah.
It'll be 5 by the end of the summer, easy.
So how do we want to, with Dawn and Keely Croson and anybody else that's hasn't
Similar.
paid, I mean, 90 days and then collections
Yeah.
or just throwing it out there.
Now, is that something maybe you want to add in on that other paperwork somewhere? Just to advise them, a customer, that, you know, hey, we're
Oh,
starting
on
this-
that form.
This is, we started this process of your
Yeah.
delinquent utility bill. This is the steps we're gonna take,
Right,
you know, and add that in there, you know, this is, if this is a possibility,
right.
so.
I think that's a
So
good
Counselor
idea.
Ray's referring to the delinquent
Checklist.
checklist, the 4
Yeah,
pages.
we can add it on there. This is a very, I would say this is an extremely rare circumstance or situation. This, I don't think that there are any other accounts right now that I can recall that we've had to go through this particular process with, other
I'm-
than
Yeah.
the one that did have the amount, you know, it paid with the closing. But typically this does not happen. We don't get to this step.
I think Counselor Ray is just, there are consequences if you don't pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
get down to the end, like we're here with this one, and if they're apprised in the beginning of the situation, you get down to the end where it gets into legalities, they've been apprised at the beginning, you know, so it helps you with, when it gets to the legality end of it.
Yeah,
So
And you
they
can,
can't say, well, this was never anywhere written down or never talked about.
appraising that
Yeah.
collections will happen after 90 days and no payment.
and maybe it can be phrased like may instead of will,
Yeah,
you know, just,
give you an option, yeah.
yeah, because maybe there are some weird case by case scenarios where we figure,
You'll
I
find
mean-
a lot of people go to day
Negotiations.
89, make a payment, then go another. day.
yeah.
Always
I mean, I want it to be
negotiate, too.
consistent for everybody, but
That's a
sometimes
good
people just
idea.
need to see the word collections and they're like, oh,
I've
crap.
seen it happen.
Yeah.
So maybe on the letters that I send out, I can, towards the end, I can put this may go to collections if not paid within 90 days of this notice, or how would you like that to be worded?
I
That
think
sounds
that's-
good.
That sounds
Sounds good.
perfect to
Yeah.
me.
Not that I'm trying to add more work for you, but
It,
needs
it'll
it.
make it easier
She needs
for her in the long run.
We'll make it easier.
I think it
That's-
will
that's
in the long
important
run.
part.
I'm looking at the long run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And as you said, Monroe needs teeth. And
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Absolutely.
these two accounts are,
Yeah.
one of them in particular.
So, Okay. Okay, Don, you've got some guidance there at least.
Thank you very much, yes.
Okay. Next up on the agenda is short-term rental application. So as an FYI, this application is from the same person that has the large past due utility bill. So just as a frame of reference for you. And also
Question, I'm sorry.
No,
Is that
go
on
ahead.
their residential side or the commercial side?
on the commercial side.
Can I also jump in on that?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
We have not only had issues with the commercial account, the residential account has also been shut off and had back payment in the past.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm.
No,
No, it's
you're fine.
appreciated.
Okay.
You're totally fine.
It- same individual.
So I also like to add on item number 3 on the front page of this application is the rented space inspected to meet occupancy standards. So I looked into this. This is an occupancy inspection that needs to be done. Benton County does do these. I was told by the applicant that Benton County had no idea what she was talking about regarding that inspection. So she put NA there. It still applies. That still needs to be done. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you decide you want to accept it, that's fine, but we need to have that inspection.
Would all short-term rentals would have to be inspected, correct?
I
Yes.
would just say that all the paperwork needs to be done before we give the okay,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
or we'll be on the hook.
Right. No, I agree.
So-
Is this the upstairs?
This is the downstairs. This is, well, actually, no. It is the upstairs. You're right.
I
She's
think-
got the business downstairs.
Well, I think there's a residence off the back
Oh, that's
and
right.
a residence upstairs, and then there's a third,
Yeah,
what was
wherever
being
this.
used as a dwelling.
That's
was a
Yeah,
storage
shop at
whatever
one
this
point.
address, 166.
Way on the back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I know people have lived in it. I don't
Yeah.
know how
Their son.
up and up it was, but
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So Counselor Cuthbertson has suggested we get all of our the work, the inspection report, all of that before we.
Mhm.
Well, I just think it's
Agreed.
important on any of them that we
We need to be
move through, because
consistent.
we've been bit by that before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
read this as no, which means it's a rejection of this application. because NA, she doesn't have the authorization to say NA.
So, well, and like I said, we should have all the documentation before we make a decision.
Yeah.
Line,
Line three.
Has to do with
Line
the
three.
accessory,
Line three.
line 3.
The inspection.
Is it detached or not?
Well, line 2 is it's detached. or
Yeah,
an
but I'm reading
accessory,
line
which
3
it's
as
not.
no,
It's
because
all in one
It's all one thing.
how can she say it's not
unless,
applicable?
upstairs.
Right.
unless she's talking about the back thing, which is really just a storage unit.
We should probably put on our form here, just yes or no, and make them circle it so they can't put anything different in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then
then,
please
Yeah.
attach documentation.
Yes.
Yeah.
oh, that's on.
Good call.
Yeah, it says attached
Attached
inspection.
inspection.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It does.
sorry. I didn't
It's
put-
okay.
I didn't
It's
put my
okay.
glasses on.
That's all right. Okay, so
Oh, sorry, and a
Go ahead.
question for you. So you said Benton County does do inspection reports. So does
Yeah,
that mean it is
absolutely.
required or they just do them?
so I actually asked the planner
Okay,
and I went and I looked myself,
yeah,
but it's like, I'm gonna have the planner double check my
Yeah.
work. And he said, yeah, the Benton County does it. He actually gave me the name.
well, they
of-
do it, but is that the same as it's required just because it's done?
So they do it. We're requiring it. The city of Monroe
Oh.
is requiring. it.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah,
So people aren't living in garages.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if we have like fire hazard issues, I mean, like I
Need
said, we've been
egress.
through this before and we've
Mhm.
had
Yeah,
found that there were issues and it was down the road. And so we don't want to sign off on anything that's going to get us in legal trouble because the proper steps weren't taken.
perhaps it's not
We need
clear.
to be that consistent. with
Well,
everybody.
Yeah, and sorry, one thought, perhaps it's not clear on this application that the occupancy inspection is actually a requirement. Maybe the phrasing of it, maybe they thought it was an optional inspection and that's why they wrote NA. Maybe we just need to be very specific about like,
Well, not
Has-
only that, don't we have to have a fire inspection?
Right.
for, yeah.
And that's not listed on here that I could see.
And this is the new form that we just had made, right?
yeah,
So
this
we
is,
probably should
this
add
is
that.
very recent, yeah.
Yeah, because didn't that other rental place, we had to reject it because there's no smoke alarms.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
Exactly.
No
Egress.
map out to get out, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So perhaps part of the problem is that this application form just is missing a couple of key parts that applicants don't know are required.
Right.
I think that makes perfect sense.
And I don't see a site map on here
Mm.
per,
Well, that'll
Number
lead into
5.
our next item as well.
oh, okay.
It just keeps going. It's like an onion.
It is totally done. So I can go ahead and I can let Ms. Waltz know that the occupancy inspection, it is a requirement, and a fire inspection that is required. The fire inspection shouldn't cost anything.
Yeah.
I don't know about the occupancy inspection. I have no idea.
I would let her know that we're also updating our forms so that's more
Mhm.
clear for
Yep.
future applicants.
Yep.
Because that is a overstep or an oversight on our end.
So my question on that is so every time they say they rent it to a new person, every time are they gonna have to get an occupancy
No,
inspection every time? Or is
One
it just,
time.
no, it's just,
So that we know that it's legal
The initial-
and
yeah,
done properly
okay.
and that they're
Right.
renting it and
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're not doing it like every single time.
No.
oh, no, no, no,
That
no.
would just be, yeah. We.
Please, no.
Although I wonder if other cities require an annual inspection.
That's a good question. I don't
Because
know.
it might,
Never heard of it.
yeah, I haven't either.
This is the first time I've
Th-
ever.
This,
heard
this
of
is actually an application putting a property into rental for the first time.
Oh,
it. Okay.
Yeah. Less than 30 days.
Yep, and I think
It's a short-term
fire
rental
inspections are
application.
somewhat periodic, but occupancy, no.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of a one-shot deal there.
Yeah, it's like if I wanted to rent my house out and build somewhere else,
yeah.
I'd have to do this.
I can just imagine, I mean, I've stayed in some pretty gross Airbnbs and I can just imagine them going downhill over time and
My gosh.
they're really
Yeah.
not being occupancy
Mm.
appropriate.
Right, right,
Maintain.
right.
But-
Slumlord.
If
Okay,
it's not typical, then I don't think we should either.
all right. Well, I
Should
will
be best
follow up
practice.
with Ms. Waltz on this. You'll let her know. The next item is also from the same individual with, she wants to start her business and she has a liquor license here. Can review that. So again, this is for her business.
And that's gonna be downstairs?
Correct. Now, she has also mentioned to me, so I actually had a sit-down meeting with her. And she also mentioned with this business, she wants to do this, she's calling it the market.
Mhm.
She also wants to do events on the property as well. She mentioned a food truck, which, okay.
Just gonna
And
need
she also
water.
mentioned, yes, and she also mentioned having music. So this raises a flag for me that we need a plan.
Mhm.
And so I think,
She doesn't have enough property there.
So
Well,
Well, you've got to deal with occupancy, you've got to deal with all that.
No, she's,
no.
you know where the museum is?
Yeah.
She's the very next building. And it's kind of like a zero lot line between that and the bank.
Between the museum and the Christmas store,
Yep.
that
I
building.
was gonna say, I'm getting confused here on which
She
building
has
it
a
is.
little courtyard in the back
Is it-
and she has had performers, musicians come
Okay,
in
I
the
know there's a
past.
little spot in the back, but it
Yeah.
ain't very big at all.
It's
Between
small.
the, that was a parking garage that that person lived in at one time.
Okay.
she had mentioned to me, and although I don't know that this would be the wisest idea, there is like a courtyard-ish area. The building's kind of
Mhm.
bell-shaped
Mhm.
in the front there.
Mhm.
She mentioned to me possibly putting the food truck there, and I was like, how would you get it there? You'd have to get it up on the
You have to
curb and.
drive over the.
How do you
curb.
get from the back to the front?
Right, so I didn't think that
Yeah, I
was.
don't think it.
And
could
then
be
how
there.
close can it be to a structure? So because of
There you
fire
go.
reasons and, you know, it's just.
Right.
There's not a lot of
so
room
And
there.
that's
Some
the thing
concerns
is
there.
All that inspection stuff that doesn't really fall under the city purview that we need others to look at and decide if that's gonna work.
Is there a business license and does the business have to have
There's
a
a
building
business
inspection?
license.
Is it?
There is a business license now. The city doesn't charge anything for it. So I mean, there is that. But beyond that, I mean, I know like for Corey Wall, when he was setting up his business,
Mhm.
and I know now with,
Misty
not Misty, but
or
The other.
yeah.
the other Croson, I can't remember.
Grady.
Brady, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I know Brady came to planning commission with her plan. So
Mhm.
a plan would be good.
Yeah.
Especially if we have outdoor elements to it. Because I'm worried about with music, if it gets too loud,
Parking.
the food truck, I mean, food truck's got its own rules around it.
Drinking alcohol on a sidewalk or near a sidewalk.
There's that. Fire department might have something to say about parking.
Exactly.
Mayor Sheets,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
council, I did verify, I located it today, I can't remember where, for the life of
Okay.
me. But I did locate, it was in a planning commission meeting. So Brady Croson did submit her plan with the parking on there. So you
Okay,
do
good.
have to have so many spots for so many square feet, and I don't remember what that formula looks like. But you do have to have those, and I know at the time I was told that the street parking does not apply.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, good to know.
It has to be dedicated parking for that business, is what I was told.
Wow, okay.
I'm sure handicap comes into play.
Mhm. So I understand the request here, like, she's probably thinking, if I can make some money on that site, then I can start paying down the water bill. I would say if she gets all the documentation she needs to do this legally in the right way, remember we ran into the whole thing with the Paulsons, we wanted to support their business, but they didn't have everything sorted out quite just yet, but they're working toward it. I feel like maybe we could wheel and deal with her, maybe, if she gets everything we need, which I don't really have a whole lot of hope for, but
I always have to keep in mind, we want to make sure this is safe for the public.
Yeah.
That's the
Safety
most
first.
important thing.
well, I guess that's what I'm saying is
Right.
if the fire marshal said this is safe and if
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
if everybody said this is safe, maybe we can cut her what she owes the city in half or something. I don't know. I'm trying to like find a solution,
No,
but
I
I
understand
also
what you're
don't
saying.
think that
You're
she's
trying to
gonna get
negotiate.
everything she
Yeah,
needs.
no, I get it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just,
Nope.
We're quite there yet, but.
yeah, I agree.
We can work on it though.
It's
but this
I
is
just feel-
very Incomplete.
bad for this person, but it's,
I understand.
I'm just gonna keep my feelings out of it. You know, my
I
frustration.
understand. Well, you try to put your feelings aside and just think
Yeah.
about what we're doing best for the
Compounding
Yeah.
public.
issues
That's the
with
key
this.
here.
Just for the public.
So
Yeah.
there's another question.
Yes, sir.
I saw that one application had 4 food trucks. How much water and sewer are we gonna expect?
Oh, this is for Brady Croson.
Yeah. And on that, and
Mhm.
same
Yeah.
thing with
She's got her.
Miss
stuff here.
Waltz, if they bring a food truck,
Mhm.
how much more demand on our water and sewer are we talking?
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna have a moratorium on building,
Don't know if the food trucks are,
They're
Gonna be plumbed.
fairly,
they're
they're
not
fairly
gonna be plumbed
self-contained.
in. I know the
Yeah.
Mexican food truck right up here,
Mhm.
they're not plumbed in anything. They use water from the building. And they dump into a grease trap that a truck comes and picks it up
I hear it.
frequently. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I can't say for certain, but I think she's planning on doing something similar. So I think the only
I think so. too.
facilities being used are gonna be what are attached to the property itself.
Okay.
That's already existing.
Yeah,
and-
and Brady Christen's, so her app is attached. to
Yeah,
it.
it was really good, actually.
Yeah, so it is here as well. So just as an FYI, and the staff report from planning commission as well. Okay, so I will go back to Ms. Waltz and have another conversation and see if we can talk and negotiate.
I think I can say this, but I think this is round 2 for this individual to try and do this.
This happened a couple
Did the
years
whole,
ago.
the whole business thing, did that, turned into a party spot.
Mhm.
And then some things happened and this person disappeared for a while and now they're trying to build a business again. So,
Because they can't sell their property or they've not sold their property. Yeah, yeah. And Mayor, I want to emphasize, I don't think we're at a point to negotiate yet either. I think
I
this
will-
person needs to get all the paperwork that's
I will
required
let
of
her
anyone
know that
else.
she needs to get her paperwork,
Yeah.
her ducks in a row, and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
Now, does she run that little coffee shop too, or not?
No.
No,
No,
so
that's
That's
Mason
Brady.
Croson.
yeah,
Two different places.
two different.
Yeah.
Businesses.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to look at the.
Brady did own the coffee shop, but she made a deal with her child, like her kid and his wife own it
Oh,
and run
okay.
it now.
Hmm.
Okay. As I said, I'll follow up with Ms. Waltz on everything that we've discussed.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item I have on the agenda, it's the very last one on the front page here. American Legion, Tri-Counties Post 61. They have a request. They have a couple requests. The main one is, so I know VFW, who else, Mark, besides VFW uses MCC once a month for the monthly meetings?
So the VFW and they're
Okay.
hit or miss. Sometimes they use
Yeah,
Benny's
they go
or
somewhere
Long
else.
Timber.
Yeah, which
And
is
then
fine.
we have a yoga group that comes in here, I think twice a week.
Okay.
Um,
So VFW, they don't pay anything for that.
No.
1 day a month. What about the yoga folks?
That would be a question for Dawn. I think they do.
I'm sure they
They
do.
pay per day and it was an agreement the former CA made with them. So they only use it 1 hour and they pay, I believe it's $15 per hour
Okay.
or day, the day they use it.
Okay.
And they
Okay,
pay in
gotcha.
advance. Yeah.
Okay. So the American Legion folks, they're asking for something similar what the VFW has to be able to have their monthly meetings here. So that'd be once a month. So I wanted to bring it to the council and see what you thought there. That's request number 1. Request number 2 is to have, they'd like to have events, fundraisers here. I don't see an issue with that, but I think for those, probably need to pay something towards those, but that's
Mhm.
just my being consistent.
And as long as they've got insurance coverage for those events.
Yeah, because
We're doing 2
we're
million.
into a
CG guys.
situation again where we're not being consistent.
Right, we need to be
And
consistent.
that's gonna get us in trouble.
Yeah,
Cameras still work,
So-
right?
Yes, they do.
So-
Yeah, the VFW, they use it just for the meetings and they're usually
Right.
quick, a half hour to an hour maybe.
right.
Um, what was it? The nutrition program.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Were cooking. It was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I think the building used to belong to the Legion.
Yeah.
Originally, correct? And then it was donated to the city.
Well,
I think-
actually, the only records that we have, it didn't belong to the Legion originally. I mean, the Legion probably built it originally,
Yeah.
but it passed hands several times, it looks like.
Yeah, it
So it,
was like a gentleman's agreement that the Legion was always,
yeah,
always could
definitely.
use it.
Right, so that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, well, it was a former Legion Hall, good
Mhm.
grief. I mean.
That was the name of it before we renamed it.
Well, I
Right.
think we should consistently let any group uses it as long as they do the paperwork appropriately. I mean,
Right.
that was kind of the issue we ran into with the senior group is
Mhm.
that they felt like they were targeted when really we just needed to make it available to any community group that
Yeah,
wants to use it.
absolutely, yeah.
I have no issue with
Available to
the group
everybody
using it,
and,
As long as
they pay their share,
Yeah.
as everybody else does.
Yeah, with that is making sure that all of the commercial kitchen stuff is followed.
Right.
Because I imagine they're gonna try and do pancake breakfast and stuff like they do for the.
Right. Yeah, I remember for the
Monroe
festival, they were,
Festival.
yeah, when they were doing that
If
too.
that's their fundraisers, they planning on
Mhm.
using the kitchen. We
Mhm.
went through a
Right.
few years ago when Dallas was here
Yeah.
doing the facilities. There's a whole smorgasbord list of things
Right.
for commercial kitchens.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, my opinion, I think that if they're just gonna use a space for, like a meeting, that's fine, but if they're going to create a large mess to where we're gonna have to pay more for our
Right.
facilities person to have to go in there and clean up or use the kitchen, then they need to be paying like everybody else. That would be my take on it from what I've seen in the past.
Right.
Well, we used to have a cleanup fee that they had to put a deposit down.
Yeah, they still,
Yeah.
and they do as far as I
Yeah.
know.
So that's only for above and beyond. If they don't do everything on the checklist, and that's even really loose. So that's only basically if they do damage to the building, that's the only time they don't get that back. We still have to pay for right now, Ron to go in there and clean up. And if they make a big mess in the kitchen, we're not necessarily going to keep that deposit right now, not per what we've been doing at least. But if somebody else is reviewing it, they may decide to do that.
I know we've had complaints in the past where different renters came in after and they always complained about cleanup or setup or something.
Right.
And then we even had people had goats on the tables.
Well, that's where you
What?
have to have a checklist and you have to have somebody doing that, but that still costs the city money.
Yeah, because we have to
Okay,
send somebody over
so
to do
you've
it.
got that. And then the other thing to be really careful of is if we're not consistent, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble
Mhm.
as far as who's
Yeah.
renting what and doing what and using what.
Well, our cameras should cover this room fairly easy. I mean, we got 3 in here, right?
Yeah, I think it covers this room completely.
Yeah, it covers the entryway
Yep.
plus those. And I think we can record what, 24 days on that?
It's a good amount.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I can pull it up right now.
I know that there were 6 cameras when I bought that system.
And it wouldn't take much to install a couple more. I know we should probably put a couple more out front and on the side. And
I thought we had some pointing towards the,
we have
playroom.
one at the front corner of the building that catches the entrance of the playground. That's it.
okay, but we don't have anything in the kitchen.
We do have kitchen cameras in there.
Okay, and then what about that little office behind?
No.
Because that's where we found dog food. Lots of rodent problems because they had open
Right.
dog food.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't accessed it in a while.
So. It sounds like we want to go, are we okay with, well, we're gonna treat them as we treat anyone else with the, what VFW is doing? Are we okay with having the Legion folks use this one day a month?
We just need to have
Or do we want?
scheduling
Yeah.
taken care of. I mean, right? I mean,
How do you get around the fact that you're charging some people and not charging other people?
Right,
That's the issue
right,
that it's really gonna come down.
whether it's a
Yeah.
service,
So-
whether it's a
Right.
service industry group or,
mhm,
like a
Yeah.
501c, something like that. I mean, there are things you can look at. I'm not saying that's what we need to do.
I thought we had an agreement, or I thought we had decided that 501c3s get it at a lower rate or
They were a
free or
lower rate,
something.
but yeah.
yeah, but it
But I
wasn't.
don't remember.
So I mean, we're not charging the VFW, so it's like, what do we do?
Well, and there's no reason, a lot of places like VFW and whatnot, and I'm not trying to speak for them because I don't want to say or no, but a lot of them are service type.
Mhm.
And so maybe we can do something that's an in-kind thing because don't they put the flags up?
They do.
They do.
The VFW does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
because they serve our community by putting up the flags and doing things like that on the holidays, we in trade.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's,
Maybe that's an option, I don't know, but then you
Mhm.
have to look
Yep.
at that because every single time somebody wants to use it, who's whatever we
Yeah.
deem,
right,
yeah.
we have to come up with a thing, and then you're gonna have a whole bunch of different contracts and.
right,
You're gonna also, if you're gonna tie it to services rendered,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have to have insurance on the services, not just
or
Here, but-
volunteer
Mhm.
waivers.
Yes,
Right.
I don't know how they,
Yeah.
We do have to
so-
have that in writing as well. I know that as far as like in kind, and I don't know if this would be qualify for that or not, that's something the auditor will ask me for. If there's any in kind agreements, if that's the way we word it, we need to be kind of selective on A, how we word it, and B, we need to keep documentation so that I have that if I need it.
So that sounds almost like a can of worms. to me.
Mhm, it
Again,
does.
so.
And then what if
anyway,
other
so-
groups want to do
Right.
in-kind trades
And,
too?
and the problem that we have
Yeah,
is
I
that
know.
we've already had a situation with this, and I don't want to see it backfire.
Right.
Because if we start doing willy-nilly again,
Mhm. Yeah,
you know what's coming around.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't want to be around for.
No, I agree with you. All right, well, so I mean,
You didn't have fun last time?
no.
The last one time or last 3 times?
Mm,
were you there at the fun ones?
Oh, yeah.
oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Well, sounds like we're charging everybody.
where we wanted to pad up. I tell you, when you have a council meeting, when you want to put armor on.
I think we should charge everybody consistently.
Yeah, at least, some kind of stipend.
And if it's, I mean, if it's something really as simple as just a really short meeting, maybe we adjust our fees a little bit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not
Yeah.
going to be an all-day event, or you don't have to
Yeah.
set up the day
Set it
before,
per hour.
or, yeah. So, I mean, that
Did you
could
say
be an
set it
option.
per hour?
Yeah, set it up per hour.
Break it down to hour or day or.
So that it makes it
2 days.
Because I
affordable.
think right now it's what, 4
4
hour,
hours.
4 hour increments?
Mhm.
It's a block, but there are exceptions for like the yoga group. The former CA did make an agreement with them, because it was a temporary thing and it still is, but we might even want to just
Temporary thing
review
is
all of our agreements again, just to make
Yes,
sure
could
that
we
we're.
Yeah.
please just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
That
even
would
know
be
that there
awesome.
was some verbal
There should not
agreement.
have been
There shouldn't have been,
a
yeah.
single
And there
agreement
was.
with,
Yeah.
because here we go.
you can go
Okay.
like 1 hour, 4 hour and full day. Or we could break it up even more.
Yeah.
I know, like if you rent a pontoon boat, it's half a day or a full day.
Right.
Price doesn't vary
And
very
it's,
much.
it's easy enough for us to come up
Double
with
day.
something and vote on it to make that
Okay.
happen so that it's,
All right, so
Reasonable.
review MCC rental agreement
Yeah,
and the rates per hour.
again,
again,
One more
a
time,
year later.
years later. Okay.
Schedule.
Okay,
it has
we
to
move
be
on.
scheduled.
Okay, so we're now on the 5.12. So there are two,
There's another one coming.
there's another one coming.
Should be, yep.
Ooh.
It's not here tonight, but
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, so far we have 2 applicants for the vacant city council position. We'll wait for that third one then, and then we will do round of interviews. And then we will decide from there. So to be
Oh.
continued.
I think,
no. that
No,
is
it's the back, it's
reference.
the back
I
side.
got confused by that too.
Oh, did you?
Yep, I
Yeah.
saw that
Okay,
too.
I see, yeah. So
I
that
know,
continued.
I was all
bad.
excited. I did the same thing.
So Mr. DeHaven, who's in the audience, and then Mrs. Evans, so far.
Dawn learned this front back thing. I don't know why she does it.
because it saves paper.
Saving paper.
Come on.
Yeah, but it's confusing.
You just gotta be on, you just gotta be careful. Check.
Her, yes, okay. All right. All right, we're moving on finally to old business. Oh my gosh. Public Works. Mark, is there anything you'd like to share update wise? We've talked a lot about stuff.
Yeah.
but Stuff I've missed.
No, so the only thing right now is in the water plant. The SCADA system went down a couple weeks ago. I've had Dave look at it. He was unfamiliar with the system. Counselor Myers looked at it a little bit. Did you get a chance to do any more research? I'm not sure.
I need to get into the registry to retry that.
Okay. If not, I did find an automation group in Eugene that specializes in that outdated discontinued system. So
And-
worst
and-
case.
And that's the one thing I found, that Windows viewer error we're getting.
Mhm.
I tried to find Windows viewer. There's a Windows photo viewer, but there's no Windows viewer or Windows operating system.
Okay.
So it might be part of status. And
Okay.
So I wouldn't know what to do with that one because I don't have anything on status.
Okay. So the big thing with that is I just have to do a lot more manual monitoring on things. For example, I have to drive up to the reservoir to see where we're at with our water
Instead of
levels.
just seeing it on the
Once-
computer in the water.
Yeah, in the
plant.
morning I drive up and then in the afternoon before I shut down, I drive up, get my levels. So I can annotate it on the paperwork.
On the 15th, an update went in and there was a
Crashed the
security
system.
update. And it wiped
That's
it out.
annoying for you.
Highly annoying.
Do you want to, yeah, I'm kind of busy this week, but I'll
All right.
I'll try to sneak over if you want me to.
It's a short week. I can manage. Thanks though. On another note, I think it was towards the end of last month, beginning of this month, we had Chuck Cross, had some medical issues. He's now on,
Light duty.
limited light duty. He's been hanging out in the office with Dawn, doing a lot of stuff to help her out. I've brought over some documentation from the water plant and the wastewater facility. He's done some backlogging since about 2020 of things that haven't been filed. They've just been stacked up.
That's
So-
important. So at least that's getting done.
All of our records should, I haven't completely gone through all of everything that had to have been backdated, but I think if the former CA was adding everything to the stack that should have been added to the stack, it's all in files now.
Okay,
Um,
great.
so yeah, with that, not to go too much into his personal stuff, but I think we're looking at mid to late July is his next appointment to kind of figure out where he's at medically. So again, I'm out running, mowing.
So
So,
Mark's winging it alone, right?
so if things pop up on Facebook,
Oh,
just
man.
bear with me, please.
Yeah, absolutely. We will deflect, or the mayor will.
Appreciate it.
Explain.
I need to join the Facebook.
Don't join Facebook. Don't do it.
It's a nightmare.
2 or 3 pages that Monroe has are quite lively.
Yes, it's a nice way to put that.
I blocked them all. They're just horrible.
Sometimes it's fun to just read through it.
Sometimes, but it takes up too much
I
time.
do my best to just stay out of it. Other than that, Public Works, things are going pretty well. Like I said, the generator did great in the power outage the other night. As I've mentioned in the past, 2020 was the first time it had actually even had an oil change. So it's had annual maintenance since then. The tech that comes out says it's in great condition and
Awesome.
the lack of maintenance in the past really didn't affect it, thank God.
Jeez.
The pumps held up fine. They're doing just fine. Our flow into the wet well has slowed down with the weather getting nicer. So they're holding up just fine. I am due to get the tech out here to pull those and do preventative maintenance on those.
I have a quick question.
yeah.
On the generator, do we have a monthly startup to make sure it's running?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
Keep the bearings all.
So every Wednesday at noon, it automatically kicks on, runs for about 15 minutes and then shuts itself back off.
Okay, good, thank you.
But there is another check we can do. We can manually start it. We can put it under load and we can run it. And usually when the tech comes out and does his annual maintenance, he does that for a good hour, lets it run under load and
Yeah,
make sure it's.
I was thinking in
good to
that kind of environment, you got to
Mhm.
run the bearings to keep them greased, otherwise it settles down and rots out the bearings.
go. Right. Yeah, it was about 3/4 of a tank when the power went out.
Right, we were talking about
And
that.
we haven't even reached half a tank yet. We're
Awesome.
very fuel
Power
efficient.
was out for a while too.
Went out at about 8:15, 8:30 and came on about 3:30 in the morning.
3:30, mhm.
So it ran
Yeah.
that whole time, did just fine.
You know, this is right after the conversation we had with Chuck Schultz. So
Mhm.
of course,
Mhm.
naturally, I'm texting Mark.
Mhm.
You know,
Not a problem. I was up.
Are you awake?
I was.
Made a little extra water last week. Had to run a little late Wednesday and Thursday just to make sure we had enough for the 3-day weekend. I over predicted, so we had a little extra this morning and that was nice. So I didn't run quite as long today.
Say water slide.
We could. Yeah, right now, I think the big focus besides admin and planning and the moratorium, stuff like that, try and get caught up on the mowing.
Awesome.
Well, and then you are, you got a vacation coming up, so we're working with Chuck. See if we
Yes,
can get that covered.
annual 4th of July trip Diamond Lake. So I'm trying to get that all situated with Chuck. If Chuck Cross isn't ready to roll in the water plant, then I'll see if Chuck has some suggestions on what we can do in the water plant.
Sweet.
Great, thank you.
Counselor Rails.
Pushing a button and writing down some numbers. Kind of. All right, not
You
trying
can
to
do that.
validate, but.
All right, thank you, Mark. Dawn, do you have anything you want to report? County and general admission?
There's not a whole lot, other than, what we've covered a lot, obviously, and there are a lot of things, moving parts. I am getting Chuck Cross's help right now in the office, going through paperwork, creating files. I mean, I'm trying to, get him as many hours as possible and do things that I really just don't have time for. We do have 4 interviews for the administrative assistant this Thursday in person for our first round. So we'll see where that leads. But otherwise, there isn't much else to update on.
Awesome.
Except you're crazy busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dawn. All right, Finance and Personnel Committee. I'll let Counselor Linder talk now.
Okay.
Read your update.
I have been working on the city administrator position. And I've just forwarded the applications to you for our top candidates. So you all have them in your email if you want to look at their resumes. And in your packet here, you've got a color coded set of phone interview questions and their responses. I'm not going to use the names when I refer to them. I'll just say the green candidate or the blue candidate. So the green candidate is our strongest candidate. Very, very great phone interview. Let's see, they have a master's degree in public administration, a bachelor's degree in planning, public policy and management. They've been a principal consultant, a housing coordinator, a housing analyst, an interim director of economic development and planning, water resources planner for the Lane Council of Governments. So really great relevant work. It was a very positive conversation. So my personal preference is my recommendation is that we bring that person in for an interview. The next second best interview or applicant is the red text, which is the second one up from the bottom. So
Okay.
Initials KL. That person, let me bring up their application as well. And if anybody wants to read along in their email, they can, but I'm happy to just go off here. Hold on. And Mayor, did you end up phone screening that other person?
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow.
Yep,
Okay.
scheduled for tomorrow.
So the red text person has been a financial independent contractor for quite a while. They want to get away from doing finance auditing, but they have a very strong background in budgeting. They have also been a city manager for a small town twice the size of Monroe up in Alaska, but it's been about 20 years. So they've not done it for a while, but they miss that. They miss being involved in a community. So that was their role included supervising budgeting, financial planning, and administrative functions, oversaw public relations efforts and community development initiatives, negotiated grant contracts, and coordinated with external agencies. They have a master's of business administration and a bachelor's of business administration. So that is our second strongest candidate. And then we've got 2 other strong candidates, the blue one at the very bottom and the blue one at the top, the lighter blue. The purple one was a no, in my opinion. Their responses were not really about learning about Monroe or wanting to do Monroe any favors, but kind of just to find work. So that just didn't resonate great with me. And then the orangey burnt sienna colored text in the middle is a maybe.
Okay.
But I think it'd be great if we could interview at least 4 of these people. And I would like for the entire personnel and finance committee to be on there, as well as Counselor Cuthbertson, since you're the committee or the council chair, as well as Mark and Dawn and the mayor, of course. So it would be a large hiring panel, and it would be kind of difficult to coordinate times that work for everybody. But I think it's really important that staff, council, and mayor members all participate in those
Well, we need
interviews.
the right person.
Yeah, it's a big
So,
job.
yeah.
Even after it's been pared down from what it was before.
Agreed.
So, and you both, Dawn and you, Mark, have their resumes in your email now. So if you want to look at them later tonight, you can, or whenever you want. Sorry, I didn't send them earlier today. I should have.
That's fine.
You don't
I
have,
didn't get a chance to check my email till right before I left today.
Oh, perfect.
you don't have an answer for one of the questions.
Which question is it?
Why are you looking for work at this time?
Oh, because, because they need work was their answer, essentially. Yeah, yep.
Okey-dokey. Okay. Any other updates? I know Don already talked about the administrative assistant interviews
Yeah.
that her and I are gonna do on Thursday.
Yeah, so at some point, Mark, I'm sorry this hasn't happened yet. It's just been busy, as you know. We want to revise your PD, just look at it and see all the things that you're doing. We also want to start, we want to do an annual evaluation for you. Sorry. Oh, we've also talked about doing a staff council and commission, city commission, planning commission gathering later in the year after we've got our city administrator role filled and our admin assistant role filled. I think it'd be good to have members of the planning commission, the city council and the staff, all of them together. I think in the past, we've just had small subsets of those groups, but not everybody. And I think it'd be nice to have everyone.
It's been a while.
I
It's been a
agree.
long time. And I don't know, John, if the planning commission has ever been invited to any of those or been involved, but I think it'd be nice to.
Um,
everyone.
to add to the public works side, we had Mr. Akers has been redoing all the picnic
Yes.
benches and tables. The
Mhm.
table at the park looks phenomenal.
Aw.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It looks
If
Very
you get the
cool.
chance, go over and run your hand across it. It's
Ooh.
beautiful.
Splinter-free picnicking.
Splinter free.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Need to have a chat with him. Thank him for all of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think we should start looking at interview times though for the city admin position. I mean, we want to start moving on that pretty quickly. We don't want to lose interest from anyone. And I won't be involved in most of the city council stuff for the month of June because of the wedding, but I am still committed to working on personnel specific functions. I just won't be attending other meetings.
Right. Understood.
So I want to
Okay.
help with all the HR and personnel stuff throughout the next month. Of
Okay.
course.
Thank you for doing that.
We can always zoom you in, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Zoom.
yeah, definitely.
So I'm thinking the first four candidates that you mentioned, we interview them.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
cool.
Yeah, my priority would be your first two priorities.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then
I agree.
Okay.
as you can fit the other two in.
Okay, cool. And I don't know if maybe it makes the most sense for us to do those interviews in the evening like we do with meetings. I think it would be easier for candidates too, so they don't have to drive here in the middle of their workday because none of them live in the area.
Right, right, right.
So-
Working, we don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we're not requiring them to live here anyway, are we?
No,
No,
no.
I mean, if, as long as they can report to work timely, then they can live in Corvallis, Eugene, Benita, wherever.
And
And
then
would
go-
the city staff be attending those just because we do have to interact with them daily?
Yep, you and Mark
Yes.
would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already mentioned that.
Sorry, I stepped away for a few minutes. I probably said that when I stepped away.
Mark.
It's like you guys are siblings. my
I'm just
gosh.
kidding, Don.
Gee, who was the younger sibling? Hey.
Tomorrow. Pretty funny
Oh, gosh. Okay, so probably not this week. What do we think about like next week? I
Yeah.
don't know about anybody else, but this week is turning into craziness. It's already been crazy.
Oh, you know what I realized for the, sorry, I misunderstood. For the, why are you looking for work at this time? The red person. Oh, she said that she didn't want to do audits anymore. That was her reason
Yeah.
for, she doesn't want to do consultation or she's no longer a consultant and she wants to get back into working with the community. Sorry, I had that confused with the purple one who actually did have a response and the reason was they moved from the north, and they need a job.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, as far as I know, the city administration job description doesn't require audits. far as I
Mm-mm.
know.
No,
So,
they might have to, oversee some of the auditing that,
Yeah, but I mean.
but they're
that's-
not
that's a
like,
different matter.
yeah,
So,
totally. Okay, so you said
I'm just- I'm
next
just-
week or the week after maybe for interviews?
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are other folks feeling about possible interviews?
Put it out there. Feel free to. I can flex.
Yeah, okay,
Use your
My,
best
my schedule's
judgment.
real
okay,
all over the place, so.
okay. All right.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
just throw some days out
Okay,
there
that sounds
and
good.
an email and,
Sounds like a plan. Okay. Okey dokey.
My
oh
bad.
wait, you're not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like-
You and Myers, I'm sorry. If Counselor Myers or not, I apologize.
Yeah,
Unless you
it's all-
want to.
No, it's all good. I was like, wait a minute, I just got thrown in the mix somehow.
I apologize.
No, you're all good.
No, I did my tour of finance and personnel.
He did. I remember.
We thought committee, HR committee, council chair, mayor, staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was contentious
6 or less.
during my
usually
tenure,
works
so.
best.
Well,
Yeah.
considering who was on the committee at the time. Okay. Any other updates, Counselor?
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. Planning Commission, we've kind of touched on some of this already. So the city engineer of record, working on that with the attorney, already spoke to that. I do want to work with Planning Commission on updating the Monroe Land Use Development Code. Some of it is quite old. Some of it goes way back and it needs to be updated. I ran out of month and I wanted to schedule this with the Planning Commission. But I would do want to, and they've actually requested that we have a work session with the Planning Commission on reviewing city fees, specifically around planning fees.
Mhm.
So,
We
so
need to do that.
they've requested that and I need to get that scheduled, so. Beyond that, moving on to 6.5 Charter Spectrum franchise agreement. I mentioned that already. That's with the, actually, it's moved from the attorney to now Spectrum is reviewing it. The city has already reviewed it. I asked a bunch of questions. The attorney answered them. I asked a couple more, they answered them, and I was like, okay, it seems good. I mean, everything is pretty standard. So, it's with Spectrum now. See what they say. I'm hoping that next council meeting will have a final draft that we can look at. So.
These are the folks that just came through and put all the cable up, correct?
Correct.
And what exactly is the franchise agreement? I just saw them come through.
So
putting
we
up the cable.
have-
I didn't hear anything
Oh,
about
yeah.
any agreements or.
It's just an agreement for them to be able to put their cable and their fiber, city right of ways and all of that.
And
We
make
have
it
a similar
available to
agreement with
Monroe.
Monroe Tel. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it would be available to Monroe residents, right?
that is absolutely correct. Yes.
Not just running through.
Yep. Yeah, because I know they've run through the highway, but they've offered to actually come into the city and
But they
provide their
haven't
service.
branched out yet.
No, not yet. No, not yet. We've got on here also, set up utility billing due date adjustment. Town hall meeting. That was another thing we were talking about that I was gonna set up. Don, do you want to wait a little bit on that? Or do you want to go ahead and have me schedule that?
She step away again?
What was the question? Sorry.
No, you're fine. We're almost done.
I'm making
So the-
children brush their teeth and things.
I know, that's fine. They need to brush their teeth. It's fine. Utility billing due date adjustment. We talked about that earlier. Do
Yeah.
you still want me to schedule the town hall or do you
Yeah,
want to
so
wait?
I guess
Go
a
ahead.
question I have with that.
Mhm.
So do we want to do like a time during the day, like on a lunch break, or do we want to do one after work, like 5:30 when we think people will be home? I did put a few dates down that might work potentially.
Okay,
And I don't believe, council shouldn't need to be there for the town hall. I just wanted to get input as far as the time of day, and then it will kind of depend from there. I know the 16th, 18th, and 20th would work well for me, just with everything else I have going on at City Hall. And we also want to give people sufficient notice, so I'll have to put it in the inserts. I want to give that, 2 weeks from the date they receive it at least, to where
right.
that would be scheduled, because then they have sufficient notice.
So this is June 16th or June 18th?
June 16th, 18th, or 20th are dates that I had put down based on my calendar. But
Okay,
it could be a different day, and it just depends on the time. I don't know. Like I said, if we should try and do it maybe like during my lunch period, like noon to 1, or if we think maybe after work would be best. It's always difficult to know if we're gonna have anybody
Mhm.
participate regardless. But
Right.
and I thought maybe even, I mean, even if they don't show for the town hall, maybe as of the first, maybe putting something in the office and they can put like what their suggested bill date or new due date would be, like a little voting type thing.
Yeah, so we're
Because I
gonna,
might get more input that way than I would for a town hall even.
so we're gonna actually survey them for their recommendation for the due date.
Correct.
I think you're right. I think if you have a poster where they can sign up and put their date. at town
Yeah, I
hall.
think that we just get more input that way. I know historically we've had town halls, even poor Chris Rivera, when he did it, I mean, there's just not a lot of participation. I get that people are busy, and so maybe people that come in the office and pay their bills,
Okay.
can do that. Or I can even include something in the billing they can just drop off. Then it can be
Do-
something they can easily just drop a slip, in the door at City Hall or whatever, and give us their vote that way. I don't know if we should require an address or a name or just their vote.
Probably just their vote.
I think a vote's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that way we
Yeah,
get some sort of input, you know what I mean?
a vote's fine, but however, we have people that come in and supposedly vote, but they're not actually in the city limits.
Yeah.
But if
Oh,
they're
well.
getting it in their bill,
Well,
If
if
they
they're
get-
getting a bill though, it would be people like coming in to pay their bill, not necessarily just anybody walking in.
okay.
I would just make it very clear that it's for utility customers only within city limits. And I might even just physically ask some of the people walking in, if they mind telling me so that we can put it down.
No, that's an idea too.
It might be more effective, just based on what I've seen in the past. I don't know that unfortunately, I don't know that a town hall, regardless of the day or time, we are gonna get more than one or
I
two
agree with you.
participating,
Yeah,
And then if they're not
attendance
really
is-
getting their input, I'd rather do something
Yeah, no, and I
that
I
involves
agree
a
with
little
you.
more labor, I guess, but then we're actually getting their input.
Right. No, I like the idea of you interacting with them when folks come in to pay their bill. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I can
So-
even chase people down on the streets.
Okay,
I had a
okay,
suggestion.
that'll end up on social
Send
media.
Chuck- Send Chuck out
I
to do a
mean-
survey, so he's on light duty.
Do you think we still should have a town hall though, as well?
No, I don't
or-
think so. I think you're right. That's me personally.
What I'll do is I'll create little slips, like voting slips, with
okay.
their billing, and I'll put it on the top right corner of their bill, so that even see the total, they're gonna have to at least see that we're requesting their participation. I mean, that's about as good as I could do. I mean, if they don't look at it, then
Right. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah, and maybe even give them the option of calling in. Some of them might call in, but not.
oh
come
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Right, There's
Yeah.
that too.
Be great.
Yep. Okay. Well, there you go.
Put it on Facebook.
Oh goodness, I don't get on
Survey
Facebook,
monkey.
not that at least.
You're about to start.
Oh, no, no,
If
no.
you want your votes,
No,
you're
no.
gonna get on Facebook.
I just dyed my hair, Mark. I'm not getting the grays back.
Oh, my. Well, I'd say put something on the city website, but we don't have a great way of doing that right now. So
Well, I could put
you could put
I could
something
put a
on there.
sample of what I'm gonna put in the billing. What I could
Yeah,
do
you
is
could.
just and just say, requesting, utility
Mhm.
customer input,
Mhm.
for voting on new bill date or something of that nature.
Yeah, it might spur people to contact you that don't normally come in.
Yeah, and I will give them different ways. Yeah, people are more like internet friendly, but I will give people several ways of getting a hold of me. They can call, they can email, they can just vote on the slip, they could drop it through the door if they can't come during the hours they're available. But what I would say is maybe we have a due date for that. I don't know if we should do it by the end of the month, or what kind of timeline we're looking for on that, because
Well, when do most people have their their bills paid by the 22nd or the 23rd?
Well, technically, they're supposed to be paid by end of day on the 22nd.
Okay.
So I could put like a due date of the 23rd, votes due. And they'll have them in the mailing, so they'll have well over 2 weeks, through 3
Okay.
weeks to vote if they want to.
Okay. Sounds good to me. How about the rest of you?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, moving on. We're down to city events here. I need to talk to Torrin about if they've got an exact date for the Blackberry Jam. I just know it's in August at this point. Also have got the First Responders Appreciation Day and the Monroe Oktoberfest. Both are on October 4th. Beyond that, any committee reports, any of the chairs want to share a committee report? I know Finance and Personnel is already covered. We've talked a lot about Public Works.
Public Works.
We've talked a lot about
went
Public Works.
over a lot.
Planning Commission, I've pretty much chatted that up a bit. Library negotiations, that ad hoc committee will be gone by June 30th. Parks,
We do need to have a parks meeting. I think I'm gonna try to do one in June.
okay.
I don't want to push it off any longer, but we've had other things that were so much of a focus that I didn't want to muddy the waters right now.
No,
But we do need to get working on it because we really need our parks master plan updated.
yeah.
I do have some questions for Parks Committee too.
Good, perfect.
All right. Our next city council work session is June 9th. Oh dear, that's going to be a fun day. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, June 9th. Yes, I just realized I got something going on that night. We'll figure it out. Planning Commission meeting, the next one is June 2nd. That's just around the corner. Is that the Tuesday? That's a great question, John.
Yeah, because we
Yeah, I know. It's the
switched it
3rd.
over.
Yeah, it's Tuesday the 3rd. So yeah, it is supposed to be June 3rd. Okay. Okay, any counselor comments at this point before we wrap up for the night?
I'm gonna try to we're attempting to have a farmers market meeting. We're just kind of calling it a market meeting. So artists, whatever makers can do on Saturday morning, just to see if we're gonna make it go or not. But to be honest, I've been trying to do it for several years and we just don't get a lot of response and not a lot of community coming out. And with my health the way it is and everything, I'm at the point that if we don't get enough people, I'm not gonna push it this year.
Yeah, you've put a lot of effort into
So,
it.
I hate to do that. I keep trying because I want it to happen for the community, but I don't have a lot left in
Mhm.
me, so.
Yeah, I understand.
It's time to let go of a few things. So if we get enough people that want to do it, we can make a go of it, we will. But if not, I'm gonna let that one slide for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any other counselors? No?
Nope, just trying to get everything on my calendar.
Okay, understood. Okay,
I guess I have a question, a clarifying question. When we are ready to
Mhm.
make a hire out of the interviews we do, like, do we need to get an approval by vote or what does that process look like to make an offer for a city ad?
Recommendation to the council and we vote on it. This is the way we've done it in the past.
Okay, thank you.
there you go. You were gonna say something, sir?
Oh, I was just gonna say Dawn is the best assistant on the planet. She has a calendar in Google that she keeps updated. I always know everything.
Thank you,
You have to
Don.
pay her a small fee.
Yeah,
but,
he
you know.
introduces me as his secretary.
Oh, Mark,
I have 3 calendars like that.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
he's your minion.
Calendars.
I think Mark's gonna be paying a fee for the service here. you know?
Extra cat.
All right, thank you all very much for being here tonight. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, you too.
Good night.
June 23rd is our next.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I gotta get the doctor.
You just. Yeah, I was just gonna say, hope Jeannie shows up because you need somebody to sign
Yeah,
and her name's on there.
you could have signed them, right?
Well, it's got your name on it though.
What's got my name?
Oh, some of these things
Oh.
too. Yeah.
I was gonna ask Dan if you didn't show up, are they gonna take mine?
Oh, they're
You're trying to deal
beautiful.
with
Oh my
not
God.
feeling good.
Right. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Is that a
My
Google
phone
Pixel?
died, So I was like.
Is that a Google Pixel? What kind of phone is that?
Better your phone,
Yeah.
better your phone than something else.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it would have been my phone or me.
I worked myself so hard in the heat on Saturday, my heart was going 154.
I'm wondering if that's what happened too, if that's been the issue.
Oh, I had to sit down.
I just don't know. I was curled in a fetal position before the meeting.
Yeah, it took me half a day through Sunday to recover.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my doctor about it tomorrow and see if it's more heat strokey stuff and if there's something I can do. that I just-
Well, Sheila had a reaction to her blood pressure medicine. Why I missed that one work session.
Yeah, I don't want it anymore. They gotta get me off it because it's got my blood pressure too low.
It's got it too low.
Yeah,
Hers kept it low and then for some reason, they say you get used to it or something happens and it reversed it. Her blood pressure went like 209 to 170.
well, see, I had the high one.
What'd we
and
miss?
then went down.
We missed, I wanted to get this in the council.
Oh, I saw that, but I thought it was already approved in part of the minute.
No, it's over my $5,000 limit,
Uh-oh, what
so,
is it?
so this is for a connection that the city's gonna be putting in. Mark knows more about it. We got 2 quotes, one from H&J, the other from this outfit. We use H&J for everything, and they gave us a quote of.
Light's getting pretty low in
Yeah, we
here.
need to turn the lights on. That's McKinsey.
Yeah, I thought about but again.
Yeah, it's for a water line extension.
Which, and there's a lot of people.
Well, I can text you guys. It's not a big deal. Good night.
That's
Yeah, no. Mark,
Yes.
how much was we didn't get this done.
This one's
How much was
14,653.
H&J?
Oh, H&J was.
This is the other piece of that one.
Okay, where do you need me to sign?
Oh, okay.
I thought I had a copy. I gotta turn my
Could
phone
you
on.
send it out in an email and get a consensus?
Yeah, I could.
That'll
I hate
work.
Doing that, but I'm just thinking,
I know.
we have to expedite things.
Well, we had counselors being in Arizona at meetings because, with teams and stuff like that, we had to set them up.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that paperwork in here. I just thought it was part of the consent agenda, so I figured it was approved. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I was just calling through it, and I was like,
But it's just-
that's resolution, that's the
oh,
first
the
resolution.
resolution.
Yep. I'm gonna try and peel them apart for you.
So I think we established option B.
I think you said B was cheap, that's H&J, right? That-
12,317.
Yeah, they're a couple $1,000s less, aren't they?
And that, the other one, the McKinsey,
Yeah.
doesn't even include the tap. They don't do tapping. They usually,
Oh,
most cities do their own taps. They want to do their own taps, so they don't do it. H&J
They'll do
does the tap or they hire a contractor to come in and do the tap for them. So the tap could be another couple $1,000.
I can see that.
on top of that. That's just-
It's time for you to make an executive session there, Dan, and then ask for forgiveness later.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
I'm pretty sure
Take
they,
care of yourself.
we could all call them back in and say, but you'll have to slam the gavel and reopen it.
Yeah, Counselor Williams, I'm worried about, we need to. turn that off.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do that. Oops, sorry.
That's okay. My Bigfoot's out in the way. Yeah, it's like volunteering up at this